Run me up, man. Tag your friend, tag a friend, yeah, and another friend. Fuck you saying. Everybody get here.
Okay, so we go again.
2 deep in the south. That's what it is. I'm gonna go. Should I let the cat out the bag right quick? Niggas, man, I got my nigga Quet in the building, man. You know what I'm saying? Memphis 10 in the building. Should I let the cat out the bag right quick on these niggas, man?
Then I went and got me a vid, and you can catch me in Memphis with Quet.
Welcome back to our Channel Justice for Dolph. Today, we got a very special episode for our community, the city of Memphis, Goven, Lil Flip, and of course law enforcement agencies. What can you expect from it? Another piece of the Shelby County cover-up puzzle. Remember the time I leaked Goven's threats to an unknown person, moms and sisters? And remember how I told you I got proof they all secretly met and covered up Goven's hit on another major witness in the case? Well, I got an update for you proving I wasn't lying and how crooked Shelby County actually is. I hope you all got your popcorn ready. We about to go for a ride. This video will be broken down into few connecting sections. First, we will get to the main course immediately and leak Goven's Instagram messages while disclosing who he'd been trying to assassinate and their female family members for a while over my YouTube channel. Then we're going to have Seti Nash snap his greasy fingers and take us down the memory lane when I was sending emails to the judge and what was said and then covered up by her in consultation with fraud Manny Aurora behind all of our backs, like I wouldn't find out. After the flashback, we are going to show the connection between the witch as judge on Young Dolph's case, her husband, and Goven's family members. In the following section, we will be covering all supporting crimes and things said by Goven proving he was absolutely serious, threatening his best friend, and that he is most definitely not a stranger to these coward actions. Somewhere in there, we will also drop a significant scene unlocking 2 more junkie-ass women and children-hating characters who recently participated in an actual assassination attempt of the same person Goven been threatening to. And, of course, their trail leads to our favorite Memphis snitch, out of which we got one arrested by our channel and sending the other one down the same path with this video. We are also going to be unmasking one of Goven's trolls sent out to stalk Dolph-related channels for Goven since even before his trial. Then we are submitting a report to FBI and sending an email to everybody we can think of, putting this witch judge on blast for being accessory to the crime with Goven and Manny Aurora. After that, we will be addressing Goven's brand deal and how Lil Informant Felon is again with guns and around guns without being picked up to snitch on other inmates again. And finally, make sure you stay here until the end to uncover the biggest Goven family secrets and the proof even his grandma, who raised him, was law enforcement. If this is not enough, better believe I will show you how Goven and his mama basically robbed his poor grandma for everything and what they were spending money on and how that nice lady was treated in her final years. Who else wants to meet Goven's son, who he doesn't recognize and hates even more than he did Desto? With all this, buckle up because this video is absolutely epic. Enjoy the show and make sure you like the video now and share it after watching to help struggling blogger Goven go viral. He got a whole team of YouTube officers Avengers with millions of subs pushing his devil ass, and his channel's still doing terrible even though he interviewed another famous YouTube snitch, Charleston White. How you get only 5K on Charleston interview in 2 days with all them promo efforts. Can at least that CMF blogger with Temu CMF chain at least show his buddy Goven how to buy views and subs? Anyway, y'all please help me help famous Memphis snitch go viral by sharing this video since his goofy team full of rats, life failures, and fake Christians like his manager Angel Williams are not capable of properly clout chasing from Dolph's tragedy collectively with their group of hating and blocking goofy, clueless channels. A couple of them are actually accessory after the fact with their actions doing more than Jermarcus ever did, and as soon as feds pick up Goven, if I was you would be immediately going on a run and shutting down all social media pages. Cool. Now that you know what to expect in this video, let's get it started. As previously mentioned, the first thing we are going to do is leak Goven's messages sent directly to me, not to people who he thought he was talking to. I know that as soon as he saw the thumbnail and community posts teasing this video that all them pills fell out of his rat mouth. And I know for a fact he spent his last week looking spooked exactly like this dog on the screen, waiting on me to publish his messages, knowing he done fucked up for real this time around. Killa rat strikes again. Check this out. Let's remove the blur and see once again how he even has to snitch on himself when he is bored of constantly snitching on Gotti on his goofy interviews. Okay, before I get to the messages, I want Hot Rod aka Mr. Cold aka Rodder Kelly and his boo Virginia awkward to see this right here, how desperate Goven is getting. The person who Goven and the rest of junkies are targeting is all their best friend, Mista Ian, and Yo Gotti's old partner. Okay, so you know I be bored as hell ever since I ran off Goven off my channel, when he was playing in my comments begging for goofy videos to watch with his now ex-boyfriend Lil Flip. Since the scary Stewart little blocks me every time I try to message him his own secrets, I've been keeping up with his social media snitching posts from a burner account named after two random names generated by AI calling myself Jesse Ventura. I was real curious how he felt about the Hot Rod video I released a few weeks back, since he doesn't dare to react to my videos. So I asked him, compromising my burner account knowing he would block me like he did all previous times. The most recent is when I was laughing at him for breaking up with Lil Flip. Anyway, let's check out response from this goofy. Yes, this is his real Instagram account, and validity of all messages can be verified by law enforcement within seconds. I will not shut down the account ever, so it can stay up for investigation purposes. How did Goven felt about my DM to him? We are about to find out. Shaking my head. So we will read his DMs from halfway down. The reason is because in the top part he is talking directly to me, thinking I was Mista Ian directly insulting him, calling him failed rapper, and all kinds of things. This complete idiot thought he was talking to Ian and got way too comfortable. I mean, what kind of tiny mind you have to have not to even check first who you talking to? Especially getting a message from a burner account with no picture, followers, or posts. The goofy goes on to bragging how he signed deal with Officer Whack 100 and his fraud fake philanthropist attorney Manny Aurora, and how he is apologizing for not having a chance to watch actually positive video I made about Goven's and Ian's best friend Hot Rod. I really can't believe this complete moron still thinks, after everything, that I am Ian. I don't even know none of them, never met them or anything like that. and I am sure if Ian has anything to tell him, he would send him from his social media or phone like he'd been doing their entire relationship until very recently. After bashing Mista Ian in the top part of his messages, which I won't release due to not wanting any negativity on people who speak up for Dolph to be released on my channel, we are skipping straight to burgers and fries, aka meat and potatoes. Tiny brain who was thinking he was communicating with his best friend talking about. I'm looking forward to the day that you think all is forgiven. You can't open a hot dog stand nowhere in America. Please do I bet you Florida going to have one less resident. Hopefully Yo Mama or someone close to you die soon. Turn that bitch funeral into club love. You ever come back to Memphis with Yo Non rapping as it better be under seal. We have a warm welcome for you, boy. So many MFS want to see you bleed, even the dude you talked to the other day, he our friend as well. Before I forget, the judge gave your emails to Manny. She wasn't convinced, LOL. Manny sent them to me. You to sloppy lil boy. Clock is ticking. I will never respond ever again. Wow, I definitely did not see this coming. And even if I tried my best to provoke this reaction out of him, I couldn't have get it done this well. He basically handed this over to me with no effort or request. All I wanted to do is troll him about his best friend Hot Rod. Why are these messages important besides all of us now having direct evidence of Goven's cleanup job and another hit for hire already covered up once by crooked judge on young Dolph's case? Well, first of all, after Goven knocked out all witnesses and accomplices in Dolph's case who would have gotten him life in prison, it is important to point out that Mista Ian, after all his interviews, has proved he is actually the best witness in the case. Way better than Cornelius, if you ask me, especially on the Stan G and Tamara interviews. See how he is saying he is looking forward to the day Ian would even think all is forgotten. The real question here is what pissed off Goven at Ian. Well, we know he was cool with him all the way even after both of their interviews on Stan G channel. I've been in one of their phones, so I know Goven video called Ian laughing like a hyena when Stan got locked up and begged Wack to pay his bond after their altercation. If I remember correctly, Stan got arrested about few weeks before Goven and me got into it on my page. Why is this important? Because even though Ian told Hot to stop giving Goven money for straight cop aka Justin Johnson, they remained cool until I started exposing Goven with information I was receiving from somebody completely different than Ian. Goofy just assumed and listened to other idiots how Ian is behind the page, including some people that acting like they down with me but caught them blaming Ian for the page. Ian's only influence on my page is that I show respect to Hot because he did to Dolph and spoke up for him on multiple occasions and exposed secrets in the case we would never find out. Ian or nobody can control what goes into my videos. Instead of thanking the man for me going easy on all of you, you go threaten him multiple times and put hit out on him and his family. What a fucking clown. See how he is saying Ian can't open a hot dog stand nowhere in America or Florida will have one less resident. Besides that being direct life threat and proof of his hit on witness Mista Ian, it also demonstrates two important things. The first one is what I already showed you in my old videos, how some people showed psycho like Goven how to find addresses, but also proving knowing Ian was in Florida due to other people who they both talking to, and Goven being there for grand opening of Ian's Hookah Lounge early 2021. Why is that important? That part what was going on in Florida will be answered in upcoming sections. Then, if you have been keeping up with my channel, he confirms his ill intent and death wishing and previous threats he messaged Ian regarding his mom and sister in October 2024 after I ran Goven off my page with his secret, how he got started in the Memphis crew. He thought it was Ian who told me, when it was somebody else who Goven's still cool with to this day. Then he doubles down, showing his evil side. Manny tried to hide, talking about turning Ian's mom's funeral into club love, where all Goven's buddies be at and owning the place. He then tells what he thought was Ian how he can't come back to Memphis, and how they got warm welcome for Ian and wanting to see him bleed. I wonder who is he talking about right here, proving and snitching it's actually way more people in on the plot. Next to admitting there are more people involved in ongoing hit for hire. He also tells to me thinking it's Ian, how the dude Ian talked to the other day is his friend, as well indicating he is real close to crossing Ian and setting him up. Why is this important? Wait until you see in the next sections what junkie that is cool with Ian and Goven has attempted to set up Ian in the fall of 2025. And finally, very important piece for tonight's video to keep in mind. Memphis rat even snitches on Judge and Manny being accessory to this ongoing hit for hire by covering up and hiding the last message I submitted and emails in which Goven's real motive against young Dolph was exposed. See how Goven saying the judge gave my not Ian's, but mine emails to Manny and how he gave it to Goven? And confirming judge actually saw his messages and threats and did big fat nothing about it. Any judge in the world would immediately not be thinking if they convinced or not. They would get law enforcement and DA office involved the same minute to verify validity of the threats to the best witness in the case, like Goven didn't already knock off witnesses Big Juke, TZ, and the rest. But no, this absolute witch of Shelby County has covered up serious threats to innocent women. Not only Mista Ian to protect her husband's colleague family members. More on that soon. What kind of rotten crooked judge covered up his last threats? And then remember how I told you which Jennifer Mitchell's assistant Sonia Stanford confirmed on a recorded phone call to our hired remote viewer who called and applied pressure asking for update, and her confirming that indeed Goven, Judge, Manny all passed around my emails and threats and covered it up between themselves. The same way that biased, which covered up Goven's criminal record. Luckily, we got Tamara, who told us what was going on during the secret motions I caught right before Goven trial, allowing all key information to be excluded from the case with emphasis on Goven's criminal record. That miserable witch of Shelby County has done everything in her power to assure all key information, motives, threats to witnesses are excluded, tampering with jury, not allowing people to see everything. What kind of bullshit ass trial she ran within 3 days, knowing she excluded everything that could get Goven in serious trouble. What kind of woman in Memphis participates in covering up hits for hires on innocent elderly women because her husband was close to Goven's law enforcement grandma and uncle, stars of Shelby County Sheriff's Office? Anyway, Goven with this message confirms everything I've been preaching for years, incriminating crooked Memphis Judge Jennifer Mitchell in hit for hire. Even if a raindrop doesn't hit Mista Ian too hard. With everything I got, she is definitely facing losing her job and gaining some serious time in federal prison with Goven. What a damn witch. Not only she covered up the threats, but she gave all sensitive information to Goven to make sure he gets this witness knocked off before I make a scene publicly. Well, too late. Pack your bags, dear biased, which as judge, and call your boy Manny. you go to face serious charges after Goven confirmed validity of everything submitted to you, and how you first of all did not submit it to law enforcement, which is a crime, and second, you put these people who send you real information at life risk, and third, you blew entire case by all your leniency to Goven, conflicts of interest due to your husband, and assuring his real motive is excluded from the trial and secretly meeting with the defendant and his attorney to see how all of y'all will go about it. Consider yourself under serious investigation after this video and my report, you miserable crooked witch. But if Goven was threatening your mom and sister, you would do something about it, would you not? On this channel, we do not tolerate threats of any kind, especially to women and children, of which you are part of right now. How we know I am not Ian? Because I couldn't file a report as him, because we are two different people. And I am not going to prison over federal killer, informant, and crooked judge. It was my responsibility to report this to which judge and law enforcement under my channel, which I did. I did not cover up Goven's further hits for hire on more witnesses of the entire plot. How about you, Judge Jennifer Mitchell? You sure did, and I am about to have people protesting outside DOJ and the White House and bother law enforcement and trade information in return for a favor until you are arrested with Goven and relieved off your job. Dirty ass witch. I encourage all of my viewers, after watching this video, to apply pressure to law enforcement first thing Monday. I don't beg for your money, so you can at least do this for me. If you're not helping, stay the fuck off my channel and go watch these clueless bloggers like Culture Vulturing Harry Potter.
He know, and believe it or not, I'm an intelligent brother. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying that in a cocky way. A lot of times people see me and I done been through so much shit in my life. I don't give a fuck about what nobody say, unless you somebody that I know personally, that I need to pull up on and check your temperature. Right. Other than that, if it's just something.
Before I show you quickly my response to his messages, let me remind you of the message he sent to Ian's phone, October 2024. Now, I did not get Ian's permission to release this. I actually stole this message from his phone and released on my own risk. My intent was to freeze Goven publicly and prevent another murder. Rat immediately texted Ian within minutes after I replied to him on my community wall how he shot some guy who ran off with Hot Rod's money for a gas station Hot was trying to invest in couple of hundreds of thousands. Goven texted Ian's phone the last time saying, "Keep playing with fire and your little sister will have an unwanted visitor." His first and last comment about it: "Plague if you want it, Ian. Think about your old ass mama in that house." Goven also called him and asked him why is he feeding, in his words, the blogger dude with information, when Ian was actually confused what the fuck is he talking about, even about this threat, because I did not talk to Ian like that to tell him I am going back and forth with his buddy. Moments after sending this threat to Ian's phone, which can also be verified by the law enforcement, and that indeed Ian has mom and sister. Here goes Goven in my comments, bragging how he's sitting right next to Temmie Big Meech, aka Lil Flip, and how he is unbothered, and to drop a goofy video. Now that I refreshed your memory, let me read you my response real quick. While you really can't be this fucking stupid to still think I am Mista Ian. I am not even from Memphis, dumbass. But thanks for confirming your intentions about killing Ian and his family. Retard, he not even the one gave me info on nothing. If anything, that man had your back and you threatened to his mom. What kind of gangsta killed Dolph from hiding and trying to kill his friends and daughter mamas? You not a gangsta, you a fucking coward and a documented rat just like everyone around you. You will never be nowhere close to real and loved how Dolph was. Choke on Gotti dick, you CMF fangirl. Since we talking deals, because Goven told me he got 6 figures deal with fraud gangbanger whack 100. We negotiating 7-figure deal to end your career. Thanks for confirming that crooked judge who loves that life failure, Charles. Goven covered for you. It will go well with this message and a phone call with her assistant, Ms. Stanford, and will be delivered to FBI. Keep threatening mamas, you bitch. Give me more threats, I beg you, and enjoy T-Rex interview. How fucking stupid you have to be to think I am Ian. I thought you would figure it out by now. Boy, you real slow. I got plenty more to say to him, but we got to keep moving with the video. Still whole lot more to be included. And here goes y'all so-called YouTube bully blocking me before he even read my response. Picking and choosing who he going after. He knows better than to keep reacting to shit I be saying or have online beef with me because he is so afraid for his audience to see my exposing videos. That's why all his pussy-ass partner blogs are blocking, hating, and excluding all the information I release. And that's why he was mad at Seti Nash for bringing up my content during their boring-ass interview. Goven was ready to crash out. I don't have motivation to download it now. We'll include that clip for sure in my T-Rex interview. July 19th, 2021. Months well into the plot and the Memphis crew's involvement in it. Goven proves he still had amazing relationship with Mista Ian and the Memphis crew members. He is crying in the rest of the post about Curtis, Givens not feeding him after he done blew all Hot's money on gambling that he gave him for an artist. Ket was starving at the time and took shots at Curtis not feeding his broke ass. We are only going to read the important sentence from the post and break down the rest in Curtis Givens' chapter. We're talking about if I lost the roof over my head today, the only people I can confidently say would make sure I had shelter is Hot Rod, the real Mr. Real Estate aka Phil, lame-ass Lance Black, James Rosser from the last section of this video, of course his buddy with a new address in Hell Evlon Johnson Smith, and the last, but not least Mista Ian. See, they were still cool. So when Ian said he protested with some bosses around this time, taking into consideration that this post was made 8 days before first hit attempts at PR artists, and at least 6 to 8 weeks after the plot started. All this seals the deal of these people being the best witnesses who actually would know way more than Cornelius, since he was just a crash dummy. I am so glad I started the conflict between Goven and at least one of his best friends. If you ask me, my job is done here just with that. You can't make me threaten my best friends and their female family members over no social media. There is no way in the world I would be that fake, miserable, and desperate. I made you do just that by exposing your secrets. We have seen already how I ran him off my page when he was trying to be Mr. Big Bad Wolf. Let's see how tough and unbothered again Mr. Guilty is behaving on his page, knowing he dodging the YouTube smoke. He wants to troll Dolph, but when somebody actually rides for Dolph, not that fake shallow shit Dolph's friends barely doing, he starts crying on his page. If you so unbothered, why you keep threatening people and putting hits out behind my content? Let's read what Mr. Guilty posted the other day after replying to my Instagram DM. Rat talking about. Let me say this real clear 100. I don't hesitate to say what I say because I've never been scared of jokes, criticism, or somebody running their mouth. I come from an environment where you had to have thick skin or you wasn't going to make it. We grew up joking, roasting, clowning each other daily. That's normal where I'm from. You can talk about me, my family, my people, my past, my kids, whatever. I don't feel. My feelings been disconnected for a while now. So if word's the weapon, you gon' have to find another route. The difference between me and a lot of folks is this. I can take what I dish out. Most people loud online, but real quiet when it ain't just keyboards and comment sections. So I say what others scared to say because I'm built for the reaction. Ain't no victim over here. Just pressure. Blah, blah, blah. You full of shit.
And nigga, you start calling for cease and desist and all of this shit. No, nigga, keep the same energy. See, me, where I'm from, we don't have picks. Anybody can get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can wake up tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and see a motherfucker dissing me. If they worthy of it, you know what I'm saying? Then let's get it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing no tripping, but nah, that ain't no, you know what I'm saying? That ain't no match. I don't know when I don't know if he actually went through with it, but he was at a tattoo shop and he had finessed 2 times mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, drew on his arm with the plastic and the grease and shit, like he was finna get her tatted on his arm. And when I seen that, it just kind of let me know right then that he really ain't from that environment, you know, because the shit you doing will get your shit twisted all the way up if a nigga like me catch you. I don't necessarily know what Finesse will do about it or whatever. Or I was locked up with Finesse at Mason. I know he ain't no sucker. You know, if a nigga call his number, he will go answer, win or lose. But, you know, and if that was me, and like, again, it wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? I got alligator skin or whatever, but it's just about the disrespect. I ain't gonna be mad and the blood pressure ain't gonna go up, but I'm gonna be actively trying to get your autograph. And so that just made, you know, I would say trolling is, you know, making fun of someone, you know, about something, maybe a sensitive matter that they got going on or something like that, you know. But what I will say is I've never trolled when I was about to lie. For the most part, I troll people that I've had personal experiences with, right, personal dealings with, and I feel like, you know, I gotta pass the troll because I'm open to the troll. Right. I don't give a fuck. Excuse my language, you know.
No, you good.
Yeah. I got alligator skin, so you know, people control me back.
Yeah.
Some people do. Where I'm from, that's what we do.
Yeah.
You know, we troll, we smoke weed, and we drink certain. You know, so you know, it is what it is. You know, in school, man, we had a fucking crew. Like we used to walk through the school and check people. We had people literally scared to come to school because we used to check them. It wasn't nothing violent. You know, it was just all fun and games. And you know, with some of the people I troll, do I have a dislike for them? Yeah, I do. Some of them I don't. Right. You know, so hey, you know, I troll 607 all the time, and you know, love them to death. You know, I done trolled Charleston White before. You know, me and him together right now. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, hey, it is what it is, man. If you ain't got alligator skin, stay out my way. That's all I can say. Hiding and running. I don't even know how to spell it. I ain't no tough mo. I don't consider myself to be the baddest person in the world. But one thing a nigga know about me is that I'm if it's about some issue or beef, or if you done drew that line in the sand that it's that, then you got to know that I'm gonna treat this shit like the NFL. I'm gonna leave it all on the field.
Oh man.
So you got to be prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't the nigga you gonna run up on and shine on.
Right.
You know, that ain't gonna happen. I'm the nigga you gonna run up on and we gonna make CNN. So, you know, you got to be, you know what I'm saying? I actually went through the things that they going through and let them know that what's really gangster, like I was telling them. I asked them to raise their hand. And I said, which out of all y'all raise y'all hand, how many of y'all think y'all gangster? And it was some of them that said that they felt like they were gangster. And I said, but you know what's real gangster? Is changing your life for your mom, for your grandmother. And if you got kids, you know, for your kids. And, you know, I said, do you know how good it feels to hear your grandmother say that she proud of you because you changing and because you doing what she raised you to do? I said, that's the most gangster shit I ever experienced. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get them to understand that or whatever. And I, you know what I'm saying? I genuinely touched a couple of them. So that motivated me. So I ain't gonna stop.
That's real.
Yeah.
Poison.
A friend of my enemy. I mean, an enemy of my friend is my enemy. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm joking. Justice for Dolph is done a great job with the content that's on their channel.
Yeah.
Yes. People think that I am the Justice for Dolph channel, and I am not the Justice for Dolph channel. You feel what I'm saying? We do work together on a lot of different things, but I can't write, create, edit every show. Like, I don't have that type of time to do that. And so Joseph Adolph does the editing and a lot of the concepts from the show. I just do some executive producing, and I also do that for about six more shows.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is go down the memory lane and show you the first and the most important email I sent to which Shelby County Judge Jennifer Mitchell Johnson. It was sent to her assistant, Ms. Sonia Stanford, I believe January 17th, 2025, following the phone call by our remote viewer. Since he was far away at that time, we thought it would be a wise decision due to all these killer informants running around under Judge's protection. In February 2025, I asked the remote viewer to call again to see if there is any updates. Ms. Sonia energy changed, making it obvious she was disturbed after seeing Goven's threats to innocent women, that she made the right decision and admitted to us they all secretly met behind everybody's backs and basically covered it up, and how our emails were given to Manny. That's why I've been calling this out ever since, and Goven did not have to tell me he got our emails. I knew that since was sent recorded phone call with the remote viewer and Ms. Stanford in February 2025. That's why we have exposed the threats in March 2025, understanding the judge is crooked. That's what you cares about no elderly women in Memphis, and asked the remote viewer to call FBI on her and report Goven's threat to multiple law enforcement agencies to investigate all of them. Unfortunately for Goven, it wasn't Mista Ian writing no emails. If you knew your friend, you would know Mista Ian would give up after one paragraph, not writing no long-ass email goofy. Anyway, I definitely had the recorded phone call loaded for this video, but I will not put Ms. Stanford on public blast, because she had no power to decide anything, being just a clerk and assistant to compromised judge who made her own illegal decision to participate in murder plots cover-ups. The recording will be provided to FBI, so the judge can't say Goven lying in his DMs, when he was thinking he was talking to the victim, aka the real witness in the case. Alright, we about to watch my old video real quick from my old page released first week of March 2025 before moving on to the next important segments. I said I need to steal your fingers snapping and Vlad's flashbacks like Zach Randolph and Gotti stole money bag from Goven and Evlon.
Then I went and got me a vid, and you can catch me in Memphis with Quinn.
Welcome back to our channel Justice for Dolph. Today, we are bringing you the most exclusive access to behind-the-scenes coward shit this little informant Goven is doing to impress his long-term boyfriend Lil Flip. Also, as an act of desperation, afraid for his secrets not to come out so he can keep enjoying his freedom. We gave the authorities 2 months to act on this information, and they are still covering up for this fool while he is running around wild and loose putting hits on innocent people. I guess after breaking his bond 10 times and allowing him to continue unfolding his plot outside for years, this is still not a good enough reason to get his bond revoked and to include all that information that has been covered up all these years.
Please don't give me any reason to revoke this bond. Report. Please don't give me any reason to revoke this bond. Report. Please don't give me any reason to revoke this bond.
Report. However, the judge says before she could review the bond modification, she received upsetting news.
I get a message from a concerned citizen that you're out doing interviews.
And this time a judge has received a message together with Hagerman from a concerned citizen that Goven is putting hits out on family members of witnesses. And still nothing.
However, the judge says before she could review the bond modification, she received upsetting news.
I get a message from a concerned citizen that you're out
still threatening people on my bond.
Alright, so let's start with the email judge received almost 2 months ago from a concerned citizen, so you know I am not pump faking. We recorded this message first as if we were talking on the phone and transcribed it to make an email out of it, so excuse the mistakes. Let's read it together. Subject: Urgent. Honorable Judge Jennifer Mitchell / Prosecutor Paul Hagerman / Family Thornton. We added Dolph's family to this email because we knew they would have never passed this information over to them. And this way Steve's office, known for excluding crucial information, can ignore my email. Friday, January 17th. Case: Adolph Thornton Jr. Dear Mrs. Mitchell, Mr. Hagerman, and Family Thornton. Today, I am writing to you with utmost respect, urgency, seriousness, and importance of this matter. First of all, thank you all for bringing the first steps toward full justice for the Thornton family that they deserved. I had to say something like that even though I am pissed off because they hiding a lot of things. Even though we all know everything is on a fall guy Justin Johnson and a dead man Anthony Mims, I had to open up like that so they think I am happy with them, when I am actually upset for all these other people and evidence completely covered up. At least they did punish the fall guy in an elaborate plan because they could have helped get him off too, or allowed him to run around on bond and keep taking out Raquela's new boyfriends too. Nothing can surprise me in this case anymore. Let's continue. Now, I am reaching out to you with 2 topics. The first one that needs to be immediately acted upon is regarding the recent most serious illegal activities of Hernandez Govan while out on bond. The person was let out on bond for a specific undisclosed reason and has been tying loose ends and witnesses that could get him locked up for life. Desmond Rogers, Anthony Mims, and Joshua Taylor are names on top of my head that seriously impacted this case. I kind of worded this bad. Should have added that he was responsible for Desmond before being arrested, and that he was not the shooter in Juke and Teasy's death, but was involved in setting them up so he can beat the case the same way Lil Durk did, with the same lying as Attorney Manny. Okay, next paragraph. What you do not know is that since you allowed Mr. Goven to run around wild and loose per Judge Mitchell's words, he has been doing much more than just working on his disrespectful interviews and a movie on his life, which is most definitely pre-planned part of the whole plot that I have an ocean of evidence to prove the further step in the conspiracy. It was not only Justin Johnson who was supposed to get famous from this tragedy. Everything was lined up from April of 2021 for Mr. Goven and his close circle to get his piece of the fame pie from this tragedy, and I can prove it. I threw that in to see if they would be real and actually care about this case to take this evidence in too. Of course, they do not want to see that because it is extra work and they don't really care about full justice for Dolph's family. It's all about doing the minimum, saving money for corrupted Shelby, and making themselves look like some heroes. The next thing I said is, what Mr. Goven is now doing is hunting down everybody who could have any information on him and the relevant crime against Adolf, but also his previous crimes while being a member of a notorious criminal organization, Craig Petty's crew. We can tolerate a lot and be patient with you and letting him slide with 10+ times he broke his bond conditions. What we will not tolerate is him putting hits on more innocent people while he is hunting them down because he believes their family members could get him in trouble. With an emphasis on the people that he is putting hits on now and threatening lives are innocent women in Memphis who do not know anything about the case because the clown thinks their family member, who is his friend, is giving me information on him. Let's stop right here real quick. I have never given them a name to see if they would even request it to do their investigation. Of course they didn't. Let me address this goofy informant Goven real quick. This is how stupid Goven is and is playing my own chess moves for him. About a year ago, I started sending screenshots of Lambert and his other homeboys to Goven, and he ended up immediately blocking me. So I started sending information I knew about him and his crew to actual crew members, hoping it would get passed down to him, because he was too scared to talk to me directly how much I knew. I sent a lot of pictures, more of subliminal, to a lot of his friends and even family members, hoping it gets passed down to him. Nobody ever replies, they all see it and pass it around between themselves. This way I know it will get passed down to the goofy, and he will know what I know. One night I got a message from one of his buddies back for the first time saying, whatever us, and Goven got going to keep this between us and Goven and not to include them or their own family. I was very confused because I was just exposing Mr. Cold's secrets in the comments and laughing at Goven for turning on him. So I asked Goven's friend what the hell he was talking about. It got nothing to do with him. So he told me this goofy video called him and asked him why is he feeding me information. After Goven hung up, he started threatening his family. Not me, not him, but innocent women. I obtained screenshots of that another way, and it was as real as it gets. So let me address this goofy informant bitch. Nobody, I repeat, nobody has to feed me anything. I found everything by myself online, and you are the one who posted everything down to Mr. Cold and his real name. Only a dumbass would not put 2 and 2 together. This clown convinced himself that I was working with his crew members. Yeah, like they would be more loyal to me, who they don't know even who I am, instead of you, who they have been running around moving dope and taking out folks for 20+ years. That's how stupid you are, Goven. Go ask your employer MPD or FBI to get into my messages, and you will see I am the one who has been sending them all pictures of Mr. Cold while they all begging me not to leak y'all business out. You really are insane in your head to start concluding some dumb shit like that. Leave everybody out of this. This is only between me and you. Nobody else. Alright, let me move this email to the side because I have to show you the screenshot too. We already read the first 2 paragraphs and explained this dumbass what is really going on. Now let's go straight to the 3rd paragraph. On that note, remember those puppy eyes when Judge Mitchell chewed him out for the interview, and then please look at the attached screenshot, exhibit number 1. Hernandez Govan sent to his close friend for 20 years that Mr. Govan thought was leaking his dirt, when it was all found online from public information. I did not write this down, but these messages were sent on October 1st, 2024. Keep that date in mind for now, until we get to Lil Flip. The next paragraph explains Goven's shocking message, which he sent minutes apart from arguing with us, begging for a goofy video. We will get to that too in a minute. Let's go to the 4th paragraph. Anyway, in the message, Mr. Govan tells his friend to keep playing with fire, and his little sister will have an unwanted visitor, clearly indicating something very bad/violent will happen to her by somebody affiliated with him. Then he says it is his first and last comment about it. And then he dares his friend to play with him if he wants to, clearly saying this is not only a threat, intimidation, or a bluff. He is serious about following up on his threat. Then in the second message, he reminds his friend that he knows where his old-ass mama lives, with a clear disrespect for a lady showing no emotions if something would happen to an innocent lady under his request. Whoever sends that to somebody they grew up together, you already know Mr. Govan is straight evil. He did not go threaten his male friend. This clown went straight at the women that got nothing to do with nothing. He has been always violent towards women according to his criminal record. Now, the last paragraph. These are 2 serious life attempts at the potential witnesses' family members, clearly showing his intention to remove everybody on his way to freedom, as he did poor Desmond Rogers when I found out, because Desmond knew they were planning to burn the white car, and it is Mr. Govan's signature while running with his crew. Even though these ladies are not actual witnesses, their family member is one. Mr. Govan, aka Mr. Big Bad Wolf, poses a threat to the entire society no matter what deal he has with you behind the scenes. Cool, let's keep on going. We just read the top paragraph. Let's go straight to the second one. It is time to revoke his privileges and press additional charges against him. He can ask Lil Flip to pay for his lawyer. He does not need to be working outside, because he is clearly still betting and moving drugs. We will get to the betting part later on. And we as the public are demanding that you immediately revoke his bond and to press appropriate additional charges for witness tampering, threats, and a conspiracy to commit murder so he can remain outside. No more informant games, since he does not know how to behave under all this protection he got from his 2 networks, from both Mims and his crew sides. I am really expecting respected Judge Mitchell to act immediately on this matter before the big OL goofball really does something to somebody again. He is a serious threat. Mr. Govan is not a joke and has quite a few people deceased already in his lifetime with ties to one of the biggest criminal organizations in U.S. history that was also taking out witnesses and already brought down in collaboration with Detective Richardson. In the second screenshot, exhibit number 2, please find attached Mr. Govan's comment sent to me only a few minutes before or after sending this message to his friend. I called him out with his secrets and laughed at him because his friend blogger who covered for him, Just Say No to SCO, turned on him too, started calling him an informant and exposed his play to get famous for what I had been preaching to somebody for years. He went crazy on me trying to find out who I am, lure me to the pressure world which you are familiar with, and set me up to kill me the same day. I got those screenshots to exhibits 3 to 6, which is another person he tried to lure and take out with information on the case. And I got info MPD can't get, and the other way around, they got tech and experience. I got sources close to the all-involved individuals in the death of our dear Adolph Thornton and public information that can be used to bring down Gotti and everybody involved. Now, to make things clear, I said I have sources close to all individuals involved was a play for Goven to be confused in the meantime, not knowing who is giving up info on him. when it is really nobody. I knew his brain would be going crazy trying to figure stuff out that is not real. And also so I could catch their attention to see if they would request this information to perform due diligence. And of course, they didn't. And now, the last paragraph. Anyway, in exhibit number 2, we can see that Mr. Goven admits that while he was making threats, he was with somebody, which is very important and should be looked at. He was with his close friend rapper from Houston, Lil Flip, and another criminal organization affiliate that Mr. Goven is part of called Clover G. So we have Goven at Petty's crew, we got him at CMF Criminal Organization, and third Clover G ran by Lil Flip. Mr. Goven has a tattoo of Clover G's on his neck and was rocking with Flip for decades, involved in other rap beefs. Lil Flip is known to be close to multiple Texas bloggers, including Sco, and they all ran big plays on YouTube for Goven and Trella Mafia. I got endless pictures of Goven, Flip, Trella Mafia, and even black youngsters kingfish together. The email continues. Mr. Goven needs to be immediately placed under 24/7 digital surveillance. You might stop endless more deaths and crimes. In addition, Mr. Goven is constantly stalking bloggers and commenting on their videos, and then deleting his comments like he is a ghost of YouTube, posting subliminal disrespectful dices to Dolph on his Facebook, then deleting them when I call him out and responding with his secret to it, and Judge Mitchell ordered him to keep his informant, but Cheeks, off of social media, while he was looking at her like a sad Bambi, looking for his mother, yes, MAM. I will patiently wait for your response and or action to get him off the streets before he takes out more people. This bond needs to be canceled immediately. Other charges need to be pressed according to his actions. I do not know the terms or how it works, but putting hits on people who have serious information on a mastermind of a crime of a century most definitely has to get his bond canceled if the interview already got him in some trouble. I am not expecting it, but I really want to see Judge Mitchell explode on him and call him out for putting hits on women like she did for YouTube interview, because she will be pissed off seeing this, and she tried to be nice and fair and let the junkie outside to make his money, instead revoking his bond back then when she could. And he still didn't learn his lesson. No point talking to that fraudster Goven at all. You, dear Judge Mitchell, please also take into consideration that we need to protect the women of Memphis. Not only yo boy, only an expression, not claiming anything. Mr. Goven already choked his own daughter and almost killed her at Mario Mim's restaurant in 2019, and in May of 2021 got into a cat fight with a waitress at his homeboy Fatneck's, linked to Juke and PD, who got shot together, and Lapari's Woods Food Place because she said something about his new girlfriend. This dude punched the poor girl April with a closed fist and pulled on her hair like he was one of the celebrity wives on the TV shows where they have catfights every episode. This dude is a serious threat to all women. God knows how much more he got away and which one out of his many baby moms he hooped by now. Oh yes, don't forget the aggravated stalking that recently resurfaced. What is even an aggravated stalking? What, he was leaving dead animals or something like that at his ex's front porch? And the last part of my email. I have respectfully decided to go the right way about this and did not make a scene publicly, start a petition, or send it to all news portals and major blogs around the country. Not Fox 13 for sure, because Jeremy Pierre, every criminal's favorite friend reporter, would alert Goven through Curtis and all their other affiliates that they party together at the same place originally funded by the crew. And I did not yet involve DOJ and senators and all that. That's why I just called a really nice lady, Sonia, to try to directly reach out to the Judge Mitchell. However, I have no issue making this viral all over the internet if no actions are taken on something this serious with people's life at stake, and this little killer informant keeps running around threatening females and witnesses. We need to freeze him publicly, and his friends asked for the same thing. I don't care about him threatening me. I already know they will all already kill me for what I know at some point. But I will not tolerate anybody doing nothing to women, children, and animals. This is the reason I am keeping this for the start only between us, Mr. Hagerman and Mrs. Mitchell, and hope we can continue work on getting full justice for Adolph's family. I got some stuff to show you that you will explode out your chair when you see it. I got proof Goven has been obsessed with Adolph for years leading up to the incident, and claiming how Dolph has no shooters to protect him, and why is Dolph always dissing his boyfriend, not actual boyfriend, Mario Mims, and always interjecting himself in CMFPRE beef, offering his support and services, because Adolph put him in the same song with Mario and Anthony Mims as a lookalike for split second in a song play with your B that completely escalated the conflict to the point of no return. But yet that's the email it was sent almost 2 months ago. There is more, but not really relevant, and me giving them info on that junkie documentary. We did not include Steve Mulroy because he has been funded by Gotti's bosses, executives at Rock Nation. Also because of those clout-chasing little videos begging Dolph's family for endorsement him, saying how his opponent let Dolph's killers out early. And as soon as his corrupted useless ass got into the office, he let Goven out to live his best life and tie all the loose ends and fuck up the whole case permanently. So guess what they did about this proof? Big fat nothing. Actually, they did something. They removed the bond for Tyree Nichols' cop killer for way lesser threats. And what else? They went behind everybody's back to give heads up to Goven and his lying ass attorney Manny. I am not going to put a recorded call out, but that was confirmed by people working over there at the Shelby courts. Hagerman probably downplayed it the same way he downplayed the interview and put his excuses and lies together with Goven's attorney again to sell a story to Judge Mitchell, hoping their snitch can remain outside until he takes me out and everybody else who knows something about Goven. This way they can call it a case, collect their check, and move on to the next one.
New at 6, a former Memphis police officer is back behind bars this evening. A federal judge says Emmett Martin, who is accused of killing Tyree Nichols, violated his pre-trial bond. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. It was all due to a text exchange between Martin and the mother of his child. That text landed him back in jail.
WRG's Brian Didlake was at that hearing and has more. Brian, what can you tell us?
Well, Greg, Stephanie, what was interesting about this hearing is that there was a noticeable divide between the pretrial division and the government, which is not usually seen in court cases. But both the prosecution and the defense were okay with Martin walking free today, but pretrial said that they could not turn a blind eye. Now, as we go to video during this hearing, there was a back and forth text exchange between former Memphis officer Emmett Martin and his baby mothers, seeing if that constituted as a crime. The text exchange had to deal with Martin's 12-year-old daughter, Martin, accusing his former partner of talking about the case with their child. Martin saying he was going to, quote, handle this immediately, referencing his baby mother and her boyfriend. The defense argues Martin knew the case was being discussed with his daughter after his daughter's birthday earlier this month. The daughter requesting $500, and when Martin asked why, she said, according to the defense, she said, because soon you will not be able to give me anything. The prosecution, agreeing with the defense on not taking Martin back into custody, was given an ultimatum from the judge saying there's little wiggle room in his bond conditions. He said the government would have to request no sentence for imprisonment or acquittal or a new trial. The government declined to do that, but eventually the judge decided the text exchange was strong enough for harassment as bare minimum, considering the threatening nature. Now, coming up at 10, hear more about the judge's concerns after Martin reportedly had a heads up from a precinct that a police report was being filed against him. But for now, we're live here in downtown Memphis. For your news leader, WREG News Channel 3.
All right.
Emmett Martin's bond was revoked Friday in a federal courthouse in Memphis. He was led away in handcuffs. Martin is accused of making the threat to handle the victim and her boyfriend via text message on February 13th, according to a police report. Martin and the victim share a child together, police said. Now this is a simple question I want to know everybody's answer to. Which one is worse and way more serious, Emmett's or Goven's threat? Keep in mind Goven was sending this to people who qualify as witnesses if somebody did their job. Who is still outside Goven or Emmett? I am not going to ask you who is bigger police, Emmett or Goven, because Goven is a much bigger police than this MPD officer, because Goven has something he doesn't, serious protection behind him, and even has more law enforcement friends than Officer Emmett. I will let you read both of their threats really well before we move on and conclude this video.
At this point, the court feels like you're playing. At this point, the court feels like you're playing. Please don't give me any reason to revoke this bond. Please don't give me any reason to revoke this bond. Please don't give me any reason to revoke this bond.
However, the judge says before she could review the bond modification, she received upsetting news.
I get a message from a concerned citizen that you're out doing interviews.
And this time a judge has received a message together with Hagerman from a concerned citizen that Goven is putting hits out on family members of witnesses. And still nothing.
However, the judge says before she could review the bond modification, she received upsetting news.
I get a message from a concerned citizen that you're out
still threatening people on my bond.
The court doesn't like the fact that you feel free enough to do interviews. You feel free enough to do interviews. Your attorney has assured me that nothing was said about this case in that interview, and I have no reason not to believe what he told me was true.
Well, dear judge, this fraud lawyer Manny Aurora, who defends demons to provide for his family, has been extremely dishonest with you. Sorry to break it down to you. We will call out every lie and every time he talked about the case in the upcoming chapters. But for now I will leave you with one. The clown literally admits what I have been preaching behind the scenes all these years. It was planned to get them famous, not only to boost their rap career under CMF, but also in the new trending way where people are making documentaries and books about celebrity deaths, and their killers get unlimited clout, especially if they are famous snitches, which is a new rising trend. I don't want to spoil the upcoming chapters, but there goes one. I got proof it was planned and in the works since April of 2021 and has been worked on as far as last month. All they waiting is for the case to end and the cover-up to exclude everyone who participated in this part of the plot. That is part of the plot Steve and Hagerman avoid to include despite an ocean of evidence, because it is extra work for them, and they have to indict more people. If you mention Straight Cop getting famous, Goven getting famous too has to be in the trial. Anyway, that's one of the things Manny lied about. Goven most definitely talked about his movie and a book. In addition, Goven talked about the victim. Goven talked about people who tried to take out victim before lying his ass off that he doesn't know them. Talked about a criminal organization that hired him and his little crash out. He even talked about his daughter not being a victim as a result of this case, which is technically talking about this case. He talked about people who owned the place of the crime and ongoing fake conspiracy again, lying his ass off that he doesn't know Raven, and they are about the same age and went to the same school. He talked about the rap beefs, which are parts of this case. Again, lying he never had a rap beef besides T.I., and according to his recorded phone calls, that was a lie again, because he kept inserting himself in the beef, and even kept offering his shooters, because according to Goven, Dolph has none. He was in the beef ever since Dolph visually showed us how Goven was part of it in the song Play With Your Bee. Goven clear look-alike demonstrates he was in the beef too, and part of the original conflict when he was getting weed with Juke from Dolph, because Mr. Cold and Craig were locked up. So him talking about not having any other beefs besides T.I. was directly addressing the case. And what people have been saying? In conclusion, Manny Aurora is a fraud. And if you have a case, you should most definitely hire him. He is willing to risk his career and reputation for his demon client and pin everything on the dead. If you are in trouble, call Manny. He's going to lie under oath for you if he has to.
What you thinking about doing next, bro? Like, what's your next move?
I mean, I'm just riding this shit out, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, my next move gonna be my best move. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm just here, bro. You know, and you know, I got a lot of shit lined up. You know what I'm saying, that me and you spoke about. You know, and you know, a lot of positive things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You thinking about a book or a movie?
I'm thinking about all of that.
Okay. Bear with quick.
Matter of fact, I done thought about all of this.
Okay. Bear with quick. What is that about? Bear with quick. Mm-hmm. You thinking about a book or a movie?
I'm thinking about all of that.
Okay. Bear with quick.
Matter of fact, I done thought about all of this.
Okay. Bear with quick. What is that about? Bear with quick. Okay. Bear with quick.
Matter of fact, I done thought about all of this.
Okay. Bear with quick. Okay. Bear with quick.
Matter of fact, I done thought about all of this.
Okay. Bear with quick. Okay. Bear with quick.
Matter of fact, I done thought about all of this.
Okay. Bear with quick.
When I finished putting out all the chapters and thousands of pictures and videos that prove every step of the way in this book and movie making part of the plot on Dolph since April of 2021, I wonder if Manny and Hagerman will still claim he talked about nothing in this interview. Y'all haven't seen anything yet. Wait till my research is public and then come back to this video. Too bad Hagerman refuses to take my evidence in that probably somebody covered up along the way.
I don't rap. I ain't never met no motherfucking black youngster day in my life.
Oh man, that's crazy. All this cap ass shit they got y'all believing.
Your attorney has assured me that nothing was said about this case in that interview, and I have no reason not to believe what he told me was true.
All this cap ass shit they got y'all believing.
Prosecutor Paul Hagerman says he has reviewed the interview.
They talked about rap music and various rappers, and they talked some about Mr. Govan's daughter that's deceased now.
Govan's attorney, Manny Aurora, admits the recording should not have happened.
It wasn't the smartest thing to talk from house arrest, on a YouTube video, but it wasn't anything about the case.
The court doesn't like the fact that
all this cap ass shit they got y'all believing.
Even Hagerman is saying some dumb shit to cover for Goven instead of putting full court pressure on his ass. Hagerman here playing disrespecting Dolph's family, talking about they just talked about rappers. Yeah, a rapper victim, and all other rappers that have been trying to take him out for years, to whom Goven has serious ties. Talking about how they talked about rap music and all that. Now that qualifies as a cover-up. Stan could not give you a better way to completely use this against Goven. Every other prosecutor in the world would dissect the entire interview and call out facts from a case. I trusted this dude until I start seeing dumb shit like this. Completely disrespectful. And you should be ashamed of yourself. No wonder you ran to your boy Manny so y'all can get your story together about how Goven did not threaten people on those screenshots and came up with another dumb excuse. So is this because Steve is run by Rock Nation and you are his assistant having to put up with this, or you really gave up on the case and the people of Memphis? I don't know which one is it, but you most definitely don't want me to show them people how you harassed poor Marcus and Dolph's family trying to get him to testify the same shit cameras can show. And you don't even have Gotti and other co-conspirators indicted after allowing Goven outside, putting essentially Dolph's family safety at risk. And you dare to ask for anything. Stop it. You allowed Shundale not to be charged, and he did way more than Jermarcus. The difference is Shundale knowingly assisted the killers, and naive Jermarcus didn't even know what he was doing. I need Shundale back in the case, where his goofy involved as belongs. You probably don't even know he was taking pictures with Trella underneath Mim's family apartment in Miami, June 2021. And you dare to be harassing Marcus with anything. You need to worry about your job delivering justice, not bothering no damn Marcus. Do you even sympathize with what is he going through? Seeing everything play out right in front of his eyes, defending his brother. Man, get the fuck out of here. I respected you, but you doing clown shit like this all the time. Gordon Ramsay needs to tell you to wake up because obviously you lost your passion for cooking criminals. Now, as I said, I don't know if you have to play by directive of Compromise Steve and his games or what, but you seriously need to get your shit together because you are putting the entire case in jeopardy. I don't want to hear about the fall guy and dead guy cover-up and 7 days trial after flashing and bragging with your cabinets full of evidence and you not using shit. Save that for public image to make your office look like you're doing something, and that case is handled the right way. Haven't mentioned Trella Mafia once, and they were all out there that whole week hunting for PRE across Memphis. Why the hell was Juke running around for years, and y'all had all the proof? Same shit with Gotti, Shundale, Link Vision, and others. You got all the proof and still playing games until yo boy Goven take all of them out and all the witnesses to make your job easier. Shaking my head. I expected more from you, way more. I haven't expected anything from Steve ever since I saw that video of him begging for endorsement and then releasing Goven told me what Rock Nation time he is on. It is not too late to turn it around, but you will have to demonstrate serious effort to run and close this case the right way, because it is still so much left in the case besides this killer informant and his favorite junkie Cornelius. So disrespectful and zero due diligence. How long would it take you to take Goven off bond if he threatened your family? How long would it take you to consider all the proof if Goven did the same to your friends as he did to Dolph? Bet you would be moving within minutes. So get your shit together if you keep claiming that the best part of the job is to help families. Enough of this clown show. I tried the nice way you had all the time to act on it and all the respect even put a good word for you. But all you did was help Goven and Manny get away with the most shocking screenshot in the history of masterminds on bond. And to keep it real, you blew the case before even starting. How can I remain respectful and trust you after that? This shit is so sickening. You need to wake up for real. And keep Steve out the case. He is compromised.
Prosecutor Paul Hagerman says he has reviewed the interview.
They talked about rap music and various rappers, and they talked some about Mr. Govan's daughter that's deceased now.
Govan's attorney, Manny Aurora, admits the recording should not have happened.
It wasn't the smartest thing to talk from house arrest, on a YouTube video, but it wasn't anything about the case.
Govan requested the terms of his bail to be relaxed so he could leave his home freely and get a job. The judge denied the request after being notified that Govan violated the terms of his bail by traveling outside Shelby County. Before, Govan is out on bond and is currently under house arrest. He recently filed a motion to have his bond modified so he could get a job to support his family.
So his request to be allowed to move around even more was based on him wanting to work to provide for his family? So tell me, why the fuck is he out here gambling and playing with drugs? Obviously, he does not need to be out here working for his family if he has so much extra money left that he can be betting daily. We as the public demand you to take a look at his FanDuel account and all incoming and outgoing transactions between him and his betting buddies. Y'all are just playing at this point. I am not even going to get into how this informant should be drug tested, but announcing his interview. So hi.
And believe it or not, I'm an intelligent brother. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying that in a cocky way. A lot of times people, I done been through so much shit in my life. I don't give a fuck about what nobody say, unless you somebody that I know personally, that I need to pull up on and check your temperature. Other than that, if you actually went through the things that they going through and let them know that what's gangster, what's really gangster, like I was telling them. I asked them to raise their hand. And I said, which out of all y'all raise y'all hand, how many of y'all think y'all gangsters? And it was some of them that said that they felt like they were gangsters. And I said, but you know what's real gangster? Is changing your life for your mom, for your grandmother. And if you got kids, for your kids. And, I said, do you know how good it feels to hear your grandmother say that she proud of you because you changing? Because you're doing what she raised you to do. I said, that's the most gangster shit I ever experienced. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get them to understand that or whatever. And I, you know what I'm saying? I genuinely touched a couple of them. So that motivated me. So I ain't gonna stop.
That's real.
Yeah.
Koi.
Thank you, SETI, for that flashback. What is the conclusion so far now that we've finished one section? Goven's threats from this month sure prove that the threats from about a year ago have been covered up by compromised judge. This whole segment proves also Goven was serious, broke law again, and demonstrated he is very stuck on killing Mista Ian with his buddies and hurting his family. It also proves Goven is a complete idiot, evil, participating in murders, for hire of all witnesses in Dolph case, including Dolph himself, and got no morals, or that he didn't listen to his grandma at all, who was just trying to raise a positive man, and ended up raising the biggest demon in Memphis. She must be very proud of these messages he be sending around. Also, after this video, if you haven't watched yet, my short video proving Manny Aurora is a fraud and lied about taking the case for free when he was paid by criminal organization the Memphis Crew, who participated in plot on young Dolph. Anyway, now that we are 80 minutes in, time to move on to the next sections. Let's me check real quick what is left to cover. Okay, so I for sure have to show you the connection between Judge Mitchell husband and Goven's police ass family. I have to run another quick flashback, proving how Goven be physically hurting women, how he threatened 2 other moms with people waiting outside their house, how he had a beef with his own daughter. Then we have to talk about unsuccessful attempt on Mista Ian by people who Goven be mingling with. Also have to file FBI report and send an email to everybody possible. Then we have to talk about Goven's clothing brand deal and his constant breaking of law, being a felon in possession and around firearms. And finally, my personal favorite part of this video, secrets of Goven police family and how they did his poor grandma so dirty. Let's go. Judge Jennifer Johnson Mitchell. Her assistant, who we've been in communication with, is Ms. Sonia Stanford. She was elected in 2018 and attended University of Memphis Law School. Let me read you her quick history and what she cares about the most. I am not sure if y'all can read this, but I got you. Jennifer Mitchell, Judge, Criminal Court, Division 10, Address, 201 Poplar Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee, 38103. Jennifer Johnson Mitchell has practiced law since 2001. Her primary focus was criminal defense, where she served her clients with sound legal representation. She began her legal career with the Office of the Shelby County Public Defender in 2001. She later opened the law office of Jennifer Johnson Mitchell, PLLC. She received her law degree from Cecil C. Humphreys School of Law in 2001. She also attained a master's degree from the University of Memphis in criminal justice in 1993 and a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from the University of Tennessee at Martin in 1992. She attended high school at Memphis Catholic High School. Jennifer is a lifelong Memphian who cares about the community and its people. What did you just say, Justice for Dolph? I said Jennifer is a lifelong Memphian who cares about the community and its people. Let's read some more hilarious and delusional claims now that we mastered Goven's messages and my emails. I'm a firm believer in everything being open, Durham said. If it can't be opened, then something's wrong. I don't think we should shield anything from the press or anything. But to be clear, there are safety concerns. And that is the focus of Judge Mitchell. That was the focus of Judge Lee Coffey, and naturally, that's the focus of Paul Hagerman as a prosecutor, myself as his attorney, and Manny Aurora, who's also co-counsel. But everything was carefully discussed with the focus on safety, because we have a trial that's upcoming in 2 months, and the judge wants to hold on to that schedule. Young Dolph suspect misses court hearing. Goven will continue to be under strict monitoring, report to a probation officer, and undergo regular drug screening, Durham said. Judge was definitely all about safety my ass. Shelby County, the most crooked criminal center in the universe. All these people are basically politicians instead of justice heroes. All full of shit, covering up murder plots on innocent women and witnesses, but publicly parading safety, and how nothing should be excluded from the public. So why y'all secretly met in February and covered this up, instead escalating to feds? Y'all are accomplices in Goven's crime and or accessory after the fact. I am going to bother the fuck out of federal prosecutors and FBI agents until this is properly addressed, and some shady clowns start facing serious charges. Never seen judge this biased in a high-profile celebrity case. Y'all will understand in a minute why she went above and beyond to cover for this demon Goven.
Shout out to my judge. You know, she, I ain't gonna lie, I got a lot of respect for her. You know, and I say that because she wasn't biased. Yeah. You know, she was fair. But
now, we getting to the real interesting part. It must be a personal reason why would an educated judge be so biased and protective over Goven going against her brand of being a lifelong Memphian who cares about the community and its people. Am I calling Judge Mitchell on payroll? No, but after this, and when you add the Memphis crew in the equation, anything is possible. That's for FBI to find out with their expertise. However, I found something which could explain her behavior. It is called a conflict of interest and serious relationships with family members of the defendants. If you have been watching all of our videos, you would immediately know where I am going with this. In my personal conclusion, based on my private and limited investigation, it was never about her being paid off, even though we will not rule this out until law enforcement clears it. Check this out. Her husband is, or was well-known Shelby County Sheriff's deputy for decades. Do you remember who from Goven's family with the same address on Bradley Street was Shelby County Sheriff's deputy for over 15 years, tampering with juries to help his buddy, a pedophile priest, get off on child sex crimes? Correct. That is Charles Goven. We will refresh your memory on this in the last section of this video. Basically, Judge's husband was Goven's uncle from Bradley Street colleague in law enforcement for at least 10 years. According to some insiders, them two were great buddies until Charles was relieved off his duty for covering for a pedophile priest and passed away shortly, unfortunately. I am not going to say fortunately, but them child sex crimes he was covering up, he got his instant karma for sure. But wait, there is more. In my weigh-in's voice, it turns out that Goven's grandma, Miss Francis, was also a sheriff for a very long time and/or police officer. More on that later on. In the video, I don't want to spoil the most epic segment for no Judge Mitchell or her husband. But right here is important to know that both Judge, when you consider she was working in the same Shelby County since 2001, and her husband have been very familiar with both Goven's grandma, Ms. Francis, and her Epstein files type of son Charles Goven. You don't think husband and wife Mitchell had that conversation over the dinner where Judge said, yo, guess what? I was appointed to young Dolph's case. And then husband said that guy Goven, a well-known Memphis informant. His name sounds familiar, don't it? And then one of them realized that's a grandson and a nephew of their law enforcement colleagues. You gotta be crazy if you think the judge didn't let Goven slide with all them bond violations and threats to innocent women in honor of her and Tony's colleagues Charles and Francis Goven. That makes way more sense to me than that she was paid off to cover up the case, when in reality her covering up was based on conflict of interest and personal relationships between Mitchell and Goven families with roots in Shelby County Sheriff's Office. How convenient. It really makes sense why she went to easy on him, allowing all the motions Manny has filed in order to exclude all crucial information from the case, tampering with full information the jury should receive. How can jury make any fair decision when she allowed his criminal record and other key aspects to be excluded from decision making, and Manny getting up there talking about how Goven would never hurt a fly, but been shooting people on record and beating women, proving his intentions and capabilities of hurting Ian's family members with no remorse. Things really make sense now. She wasn't paid off. She and her hubby just respect their law enforcement buddies Charles and Francis. Okay, now that we have tied this together, let's finish introducing Mr. Tony Mitchell and further prove my claims. Tony Mitchell, empowering Memphis families and businesses through Legal Shield. August 28, 2025. By Tony Mitchell. Of course, right after Goven's trial self-promo. Tony's extensive background in law enforcement and regulatory oversight uniquely positions Tony to empathize with the everyday legal concerns of Memphis residents. Written by J.R. Robinson. Tony Mitchell, a proud Memphis native, has built a remarkable career rooted in service to his community. With over 31 years of experience as a deputy sheriff in the Shelby County Sheriff's Office, Tony brings a deep understanding of the legal and societal challenges faced by local families and businesses. Quick little math. If this article was written in 2025, he was working as Shelby County Sheriff's Deputy since 1994. Charles Goven was there for sure by 2000. Goven's grandma was there for sure before Tony due to the age difference. So you want to tell me in the span of 15 to 20 years, Tony would not develop any relationship with his colleague Sheriff Deputy Charles Govan and his mother, Ms. Frances Govan. Get the fuck out of here. Let's continue. He also served as campus police at Southwest Tennessee Community College and currently holds a role as Chief Inspector at the Tennessee Department of Commerce and Insurance Regulatory Board. His academic foundation includes a Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice from the University of Memphis, emphasizing his lifelong dedication to public safety and law. So why you ain't tell your wife to stop covering up hits for hires in young Dolph's case, if you also have a lifelong dedication to public safety and law? Not only your wifey broke the law, but also trust and safety aspect of regular Memphians. Y'all can write whatever you want in your own self-promo articles. Now people know the real. All I ask for your wifey is to do her job and be fair to Adolph's side and stop covering for Killa and Foreman Goven. I didn't ask her to go investigate or go into Goven's phone. Everything was delivered and confirmed. Not launching federal and state investigation and assuring validity makes your dear wife accomplice or accessory after the fact. I am not a lawyer. You are, so you can sure tell me better what laws and codes of conduct she violated. You the expert Tony. This extensive background in law enforcement and regulatory oversight uniquely positions Tony to empathize with the everyday legal concerns of Memphis residents. Recognizing the need for accessible, affordable legal support, he became an independent associate for Legal Shield over 21 years ago. Legal Shield offers comprehensive legal plans designed to protect families and businesses from costly and complex legal issues by providing unlimited consultations, secure document storage, and 24/7 emergency access to lawyers with an average of 22 years of experience. Through Legal Shield, Tony Mitchell empowers local families to handle important matters such as drafting wills, estate planning, adoption paperwork, and real estate transactions with confidence. For business owners, he offers solutions to protect intellectual property, manage employee hiring, and secure necessary business licenses, helping foster growth and security in the Memphis economy. Tony's law enforcement career enhances his credibility and drive in this mission, reflecting his deep commitment to serving and protecting his community not just on the streets, but through legal empowerment. By bridging his first-hand knowledge of legal challenges with Legal Shield's affordable legal services, he helps Memphis families and businesses navigate legal complexities with peace of mind. Okay, we won't go too deep into Tony because we are not stalkers and got enough of info to make the connection between him and Goven's law enforcement family members who raised him. What we're going to do now is finish off with Tony's gallery from this website to help us visualize all this text. We're going to have one more very short scene after that because I have to address Lil Carla, aka Carla Taylor, and Paul Hagerman. After that scene, I am going to add 20 minutes break in the video since we're coming on to 2 hours now to give everybody a chance to recover their brains, roll up some herb, pour up a drink, and get some snacks before we get into some wild, exclusive, never heard before information. You know how we do it. We leave the best for last. It's Dolph. This whole damn case is one big conflict of interest. Not only Goven's family worked for and has significant relationships in Shelby County, we also already introduced Goven's MPD homegirl and Mr. Cold's ex-girlfriend. Steve was already exposed with 100% proof he was and still is on Rock Nation and Gotti's payroll. No wonder he blew the entire case. Hagerman, just complete disappointment, and should have done more to protect people with real information, instead basing the entire case on Cornelius, covering for Goven all the time, applying no pressure, since Goven signed his rap proffer agreement. But he got all the time to harass damn Marcus to testify the same shit cameras can show bothering the poor man. Don't think I am going this deep without making a promise to leak his emails to Dolph's family bothering Marcus to be his witness, but excluded all the key evidence and other people involved. He had time for all that, right? Then we have goofy Carla Taylor, the worst and most compromised state prosecutor in the history of humanity. How the fuck she can prosecute this case hiding all the key information, Goven motives, helping judge cover up threats to her ex-boyfriend Mr. Ian, her ties to Gotti's attorney Art Horn. She sure knew Goven from back in the day she was dating Mista Ian. How the fuck is all this not conflict of interest? And how the fuck is she leading prosecutor on the biggest trial in Memphis history next to Lorenzen case? But the real question is why Carla helped cover them threats up, because the prosecution sure did get the same email. Now we're really starting to understand how a prosecutor with 20 years of experience working right next to decent and experienced Hagerman, but delivered worse performance than these goofy YouTubers who know nothing about the case. She was the one that got Goven off, and I believe all this shit was planned, and this girl is corrupted. Ain't no way in the world she blew the case like this with all her resume. She knew exactly what she was doing. FBI after investigating judge. Her and Mulroy are next on the list. Maybe she didn't care for Ian's mom and sister since he not smashing her no more. Straight goofball. Alright, so before we take 20-minute break as promised, let's be a ChatGPT attorney, like said he be doing. I don't get paid for this shit, I am paying for this shit. So I definitely do not have incentive or motivation to be going over entire Tennessee Book of Laws. Therefore, I explained the situation shortly and provided threats to ChatGPT and asked it to give us a summary and indicate laws violated in this situation by the judge. Let's go. I can be a lawyer this way too. Below is a combined legal overview based on everything you explained. The screenshots of threats, your report to the judge, and the connection to the Shelby County, Memphis proceedings involving the murder of young Dolph. This is not a determination of wrongdoing, but it identifies laws, judicial rules, and procedures that could apply to the situation you described. Overview of the situation you described. You indicated that a person with inside knowledge of the case, the defendant's close friend, made public statements about what he witnessed. That person was not included on the witness list, despite allegedly having significant information. You received threatening messages referencing harm to family members and warnings about returning to Memphis. The messages also claimed the judge provided private information to another person. You reported these threats to the judge, but believe no action was taken or escalated to law enforcement. Even if someone is not formally listed as a witness, the law can still treat them as a potential witness if they possess relevant information. By the way, goofy-ass judge and goofy-ass DA team, y'all didn't even know Mista Ian was Cornelius Selly for 6 months. Y'all don't want to tell that part of the story because it would open a can of worms. One witness intimidation law. The most relevant criminal statute is Tennessee Code Section 39-16-507, intimidation of a witness. Under this law, it is illegal to threaten someone because they may testify or provide information, attempt to influence or prevent testimony, threaten retaliation against someone involved in a criminal case. Importantly, a witness can include any person with knowledge of facts about a crime, even if they have not yet been formally called to testify. Threats referring to family members, warnings about returning to Memphis, or statements implying harm could potentially fall under this statute if they were intended to discourage cooperation or testimony. 2. Retaliation for participation in a case. Another related statute is Tennessee Code Section 39-16-510, retaliation for past action. This applies when someone threatens or harms a person because they provided information to law enforcement, testified or planned to testify, cooperated with a criminal investigation. If the threats were sent because someone spoke publicly about the case, such as in an interview or shared information about the crime, this statute could be relevant. Three, harassing or threatening communications. Even outside the witness intimidation context, threatening messages may violate Tennessee Code Section 39-17-308, harassment. This law covers communications intended to frighten, intimidate, alarm another person. Repeated threatening messages directed at someone or their family could potentially qualify. 4. Judicial ethical duties. Tennessee judges must follow the ethical rules in Tennessee Supreme Court Rule 10, Code of Judicial Conduct. Several provisions could become relevant if a judge were aware of threats or communicated privately with one side. Rule 1.2, Integrity and Public Confidence. Judges must act in a way that maintains public trust in the judiciary and avoid even the appearance of impropriety. Rule 2.2, Impartiality and Fairness. Judges must apply the law fairly and treat all participants in a case equally. Rule 2.8, Decorum and Safety in Proceedings. Judges must maintain order in proceedings and ensure participants are not subjected to intimidation or harassment. Rule 2.9, Ex parte communications. Judges generally cannot privately communicate with one party about a case outside formal proceedings. If a judge were to privately discuss evidence, witnesses, or case strategy with one side, it could raise ethical concerns unless it fits a narrow procedural exception. Five, official misconduct by public officials. If a public official intentionally fails to perform a required duty, the criminal statute, sometimes cited as Tennessee Code Section 39-16-402, official misconduct. This applies when a public servant knowingly fails to perform a duty required by law or uses their position in a way that causes harm or improper benefit. Whether this statute applies depends heavily on specific facts and proof of intent. 6. Judicial oversight and complaints. Complaints about Tennessee judges are investigated by the Tennessee Board of Judicial Conduct. This body reviews allegations such as improper ex parte communications, bias or favoritism, failure to follow judicial ethics rules, other misconduct. They can issue disciplinary actions ranging from warnings to recommending removal from office. And now the final word from the hood lawyer ChatGPT. 7. Evidence typically needed in situations like this. Investigations into threats or judicial misconduct usually require more than screenshots alone. Authorities often look for complete message threads and timestamps, verification of the sender's account or phone number, any police reports or prior complaints, court transcripts or filings showing the judge was informed, evidence supporting claims of private meetings or communications. These elements help establish both context and intent. Key legal point. Under Tennessee law, a person does not need to be formally listed as a witness to be protected from intimidation. If someone has knowledge about a crime or may provide testimony, threats directed at them because of that information can still fall under witness intimidation statutes. Okay, cool, we are 5 minutes away from this video already being 2 hours long. Y'all go get a nice break of 20 minutes and prepare your brains for the explosive content now that we got this legal stuff out the way and expose Judge and Goven's threats. See you in a minute. Welcome back to part 2 of this video. We have a couple of more relevant topics to cover, such as Goven's previous crimes fitting well with the screenshots I showed you. Then we have to go over who else is participating in all these plots on Ian. We also need to file a report and send some emails to go with it. Then quickly going over Goven's brand deal update and him being around guns again as a felon. And finally, the explosive ending with Goven family secrets I never saw coming. Since goofy fraud Manny Aurora will be crying how his client never harmed a woman a day in his life, and Judge covered up his criminal record, I want to make sure we add our previous work to this video, which goes perfectly together with Goven's threats. When you get a chance, if you haven't, go watch me break down 2 violent attacks on females by Goven causing serious damage. First, of course, around the time he was plotting on Dolph with the rest of Trulla and CMG officers, he attacked his ex-girlfriend at his homeboy food place. Mr. Guilty punched her and was pulling her hair when she was on the ground, broke her finger, blacked her eye, and put her in a cast. Of course, he pulled a large patch out of her hair too. Somebody please tell me how the fuck he didn't get locked up for this. A whole confession, witnesses, and if MPD was not too busy, would definitely have cameras. I don't know no non-informant who would get away with this, especially when physical damage is so demonstrable. Anyway, this was one of the case proving he would never hurt a woman. Right, Manny and Judge Mitchell? Okay. The next important complementary evidence to 2 screenshots of threats I released in this video is that time he choked and almost killed his own daughter at Gotti's restaurant in November of 2019. This is not only important to prove he would for sure harm a female, since Manny is full of shit and Judge covered up his criminal record, but also proving he would indeed have a beef and hurt his own female child. This is very important for the next piece of evidence I want to present sealing the deal. He indeed had a street beef with his other daughter, Destiny Govan. But first, let's hear from the Memphis catfighter real quick.
And believe it or not, I'm an intelligent brother. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying that in a cocky way. A lot of times people see me, I done been through so much shit in my life. I don't give a fuck about what nobody say, unless you somebody that I know personally, that I need to pull up on and check your temperature. Other than that, if you actually went through the things that they going through and let them know that what's gangster, what's really gangster, like I was telling them. I asked them to raise their hand. And I said, which out of all y'all raise y'all hand, how many of y'all think y'all gangster? And it was some of them that said that they felt like they were gangsters. And I said, but you know what's real gangster? Is changing your life for your mom, for your grandmother. And if you got kids, for your kids. And, I said, do you know how good it feels to hear your grandmother say that she proud of you because you changing and because you doing what she raised you to do? I said, that's the most gangster shit I ever experienced. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get them to understand that or whatever. And I, you know what I'm saying? I genuinely touched a couple of them. So that motivated me. So I ain't going to stop.
That's real.
Yeah.
These are messages leaked by Goven's first baby mom and Destiny's mom. Destiny was a rapper Lotta Cash Desto, rest in peace. I wish she leaked everything. But at least we got something to work with, and in the last message, I will show you something every blogger has missed. So Desto tells him something related to T-Rex snitching paperwork, and ends with good day. Rat Boy got emotional and snapped on his daughter over talking about I don't give a fuck about no Facebook. Go on Terrence Yarbrough page and see what he said about me. Fuck you mean? That man got 5,000 friends. The whole world know what happened 'cause it's on his page. Matter of fact, we just talked last week through text. Let's stop right here. First, I am glad he confirmed he is a documented snitch and cooperative inmate, cutting his 30 years to barely 2, if even that. Then he says he talked to T-Rex through text. Well, that's most definitely a lie. I went and asked T-Rex about that. He said Goven is full of shit and how he never will be cool with that informant. Real dad don't lie to their daughters over anything, but when your dad a psycho and got street beef with his kids, nothing is off the table. Then he continues real emotional, showing his true side that Judge and Manny managed to hide. Do you believe me, now you witch? Read this, Judge. But that's all you got to do, and bet you move yo grandma and yo Mamie tonight, and that's on my moma. Okay, after Goven thinking he is Spider Lock from Los Angeles, he proves that threatening Ian elderly mom and his sister wasn't his first rodeo. How the hell you threaten your baby mom, her mom, and your daughter grandma over snitching accusations? This boy right here real unstable. I am glad this came out because sure should be used when feds get him for putting hit on Ian and his family. Then brave Desto, who don't fear the devil, just like me, told him, I know where you stay, you going to be dead before the next day. The informant dad goes deeper in street beef with his own daughter and start calling her names instead being a real dad and never even get this far in no disrespect to his daughter. But he was quick to clout chase off her tragedy. Super dad talking about you don't know where I stay, lil bitch. You know where the spot is not my house. I can show better than I can tell you, give her ass heart attack playing with me. Wow, do you all believe me now? But wait, there is more. Then these are messages between Destiny and her mother, Ms. Gina. Desto sent her a screenshot of the rest of the conversation and told her how she can't wait for her rat daddy to die and she would go shoot him in the face herself and go to jail for the rest of her life for what he said about her grandma. We already heard what he said, but Goven double downs on his threats and sends pictures from outside Desto grandma house talking about, bitch, we at yo grandma house now. Ho, keep playing with me, bitch. Destiny told him to stay there. Goven tell her to better find something safe to do and that they are in front of her house. Wow, this idiot really had people outside of her grandma house, or even worse, went to handle his own work knowing she would let him in. That reflection kind of looks like his bald head. And finally, it is really difficult to catch Ms. Gina's response to this, but one frame in Rat Charleston video shows you the full response no other blogger caught. Watch this. Ms. Gina said he capping just try to scare you. I got him. Chill and stop texting him threats. He the police. Oh Lord, even his baby mom who would know him and his secrets the best besides Mr. Cold, and Ian even knows for a fact Goven is the police and would turn in his own daughter. This is pure comedy. Shout out to Ms. Gina for riding for Dolph after Goven's trial when it was the most dangerous times she exposes ass. The only mistake she did was going to illiterate, tiny brain, non-due diligent Charleston, who turned on her, by now for clout. Ms. Gina, since you ride for Dolph, I am riding for your daughter, which I am one of the only few who never disrespected her, even call out goofies like Seti Nash who did, and showing it to your FBI baby daddy in my video, starting the original conflict between them. Anyway, if you need help, send me all the screenshots and voice notes to my email, and preferably get Goven's son, who was real close to your daughter, and who he beefing with, as well, to come do an interview with me or both of us for Desto. Thanks for leaking this, you the goat. like Goven be saying when they smoke his as we turning his funeral into club love, right here on Justice for Dolph channel.
And believe it or not, I'm an intelligent brother. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying that in a cocky way. A lot of times people see, right. Nigga, I done been through so much shit in my life. Nigga, I don't give a fuck about what nobody say, unless you somebody that I know personally, that I need to pull up on and check your temperature. Right. Other than that, if you actually went through the things that they going through, and let them know that what's gangster, what's really gangster, like I was telling them. I asked them to raise their hand. And I said, which out of all y'all raise y'all hand, how many of y'all think y'all gangster? And it was some of them that said that they felt like they were gangster. And I said, but you know what's real gangster? Is changing your life for your mom, for your grandmother. And if you got kids, for your kids. And, I said, do you know how good it feels to hear your grandmother say that she proud of you because you changing? And because you doing what she raised you to do. I said, that's the most gangster shit I ever experienced. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get them to understand that or whatever. And I, you know what I'm saying? I genuinely touched a couple of them. So that motivated me. So I ain't gonna stop.
That's real.
And now, before we get into some explosive things, the last piece of evidence supporting Goven's threats is when him and rat-ass Life Failure Charleston were going back and forth. I know that conflict was real because of the messages he released from Gina, but also using my paperwork to expose him to be informant. Therefore, I am in the history of all Goven's online beefs. Just these sucker-ass blogging snitching Avengers be blocking and hating more than Mario Mims, Devin Steele, Mike T, and Peppa. I am not going to play that part, but all of y'all, including the law enforcement, got online the apology video from Goven after saying you're going to have people pull up at Charleston's mom's place if he keeps playing with him. This is now third elderly lady he pulling up to for the purposes of checking the temperature and getting an autograph like he be saying. Threats to Desto and Charleston mom go perfectly hand in hand with the threats I leaked today to Ian mom and sister. We got the case. Unfortunately, he is an informant with endless ties, so he will never be prosecuted. Prove me wrong, MPD and FBI. Anyway, what I am going to play is part of my recently released clip where I caught Goven snitching on himself and a resident of Oak Cliff, Texas, how they actually planned to take out Charleston mom. If Goven pushed that button. Charleston has proven once again he is really a piece of shit with no morals, selling out his mom to get tiny views from Goven. That bitch-ass boring-ass interview where Charleston is hiding he got canceled because he is speaking ill of deceased children's and family members and people like Charlie Kirk. That lame-ass interview on boring-ass platform called Hernandez Govan 23 is still stuck at 6,000 views in 3 days. Y'all play didn't work because people do not give a fuck anymore what Charleston is talking about. And it shows he really ain't that real as he claiming because he done sold respect for his mom just so these two rats can lick each other for. The same way Goven sold out Desto. He is saying people have to grow up one day. You're right, your clown ass grew up after few months of conflict and almost 50 years on planet Earth because you and that fake Christian Angel Williams were thirsty for clout and profit. Charleston is really falling off since Aiden Ross got rid of his tiny mind from his platform and only suckers be still mingling with Charleston. What has Charleston ever achieved in life but snitch his ass off on the stand against his best friend like his name is Cornelius Smith or Hernandez Govan? Charleston sold out his mom and her safety for YouTube laughing out loud. Why you didn't call cops on Goven, you bitch? because you knew that call would be sent to Goven like that which Judge did behind all of our backs, assuring Goven Knox off this last witness, and she could have her lunch break earlier. Fuck Charleston White, he a nobody with no real-life achievements. Only thing he ever did was disrespect real people like Nipsey. Nipsey is way more loved and real than both of you rotten rats. Y'all can't fuck with Nipsey or Dolph. That's what success looks like, not no YouTube gossiping and disrespect. Lame-ass blogging Avengers. And if I ruined your brand deal, I am going to laugh so hard. More on that in a second. But first, let's watch the video when Goven snitched on how he had a hit on Rat Charleston Mom. He couldn't even expose Goven without me.
Like I said, I ain't no say that Charleston. I just want to meet him and I just want to get his autograph in person. That's all I want to do. I'm finna go hang out with Dewberry when I leave here.
Shout out West Dallas.
Yeah. So, Charleston, you see this interview, I don't know when y'all gonna drop. I don't know if y'all rock with him, but if y'all got a number on him, man, tell him Govan parading around the city looking for him.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. Again, I don't know if it's an analogy or not, but...
No. I just want to get a picture with you. Like you said, man, what one of my goals is this year?
Shoot.
I want Charleston White on my show.
Yeah, no, that'd be a good conversation.
I think it'll break the internet. It'll be like, of course it'll be great for me. Yeah. Charleston, he already, he on a level, that a lot of people never see. So, I'm sure he'll probably be like, how could it benefit him? But it'll be a stepping stone for me, and I think, and it'll be a big jump for me. And when I say that, it's because all the things that were said.
Yeah.
The environment that I come from, for me to put that shit to the side, like I almost got to down there have a heart transplant because I normally don't forgive, certain shit. Yeah. It's certain lines you cross that ain't no coming back from.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I got so much love for Gangsta. I think if Gangsta reached out to me, as soft as this might sound, I probably would do it.
That's some real shit.
And that's just on the strength of Gangsta. That's what I'm saying? And I think on the strength, and I don't think on the strength of Gangsta, I know it will be done peacefully. And I think if we did have a sit down, me and Charleston, I do think Gangsta would need to be there.
Yeah, no, one thing that Charleston has done is he has fixed a lot of bridges that were broken prior to this
year. He has been doing that lately.
So to see him and Woody get together.
Because he said some things about Woody that
some niggas don't come back from that shit.
And I thought, what I'm saying? Like, be able to, but Woody on a different path, Woody on a, what I'm saying? Woody had this, he'll be on this spiritual journey one day, but you piss him off the next day, he might come and say some crap, you know what I'm saying? But I remember one night, we was talking and Woody was trying to give me some game on the phone and I just was telling Woody, I was just like, bro, I'm just still wrestling with the old me, Woody, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's like you been a certain way for so long and you ain't never tolerated certain shit for so long, how can you start now?
Come on.
That's what I'm saying? Like, niggas telling me, man, look over shit, man. You in this YouTube world.
Yeah, but I say you're in this YouTube world now.
Yeah, I am.
It's
what I'm saying? But don't bring a nigga kids into the YouTube world. You know what I'm saying? You could say
they know exactly what hurts you. Like if you say that right now.
But see, that's the thing. It don't hurt me. You know what it do? It make me want to kill you.
Oh damn. Yeah.
That's a different. Like I ain't sitting at home crying with no motherfucking Kleenexes and tissue and shit like that. No, man, I'm trying to find out where your bush is at.
Come on.
Like I ain't hurt, nigga. Yeah, you just trying to get yourself hurt.
Ooh.
You ain't hurting me, nigga. You gonna hurt your family when they have to plan your shit.
Come on.
About fucking with my kids.
Come on.
Cause when Charleston said that about my daughter, my little nigga from Oak Cliff was standing outside his mama house. Waiting on the word. And on the strength of certain people, I ain't pressed that button. But let some piss would have been by my daughter's grave.
Hey. A lot of people, again, and what Charleston would say is, man, it's just the internet. Don't, like you just said, never get, whatever niggas say, like with the Cornelia shit. Hey, but
world.
Yeah, but I say
you
you're in
know
this
what I'm
YouTube
saying?
world now.
Yeah, I
So
am. You
it's
know what I'm
like-
saying? But don't bring a nigga kids into the YouTube world. You know what I'm saying? You know, you could say
That's exact. They know exactly what hurts you. Like if you say that, you saying that right now.
But see, that's the thing. It don't hurt me. You know what it do? It make me want to kill you.
Oh damn. Yeah.
That's a different. Like I ain't sitting at home crying with no motherfucking Kleenexes and tissue and shit like that. No, man, I'm trying to find out where your bush is at.
Come on.
Like I ain't hurt, nigga. Yeah, you just trying to get yourself hurt.
Ooh.
You ain't hurting me, nigga. You gonna hurt your family when they have to plan your shit.
Come on.
About fucking with my kids.
Come on.
Cause when Charleston said that about my daughter, my little nigga from Oak Cliff was standing outside his mama house, waiting on the word. And on the strength of certain people, I ain't pressed that button. But let some piss would have been by my daughter's grave.
You know, a lot of people, again, and what Charleston would say is, man, it's just the internet. Don't, like you just said, never get, you know, whatever niggas say, like with the Cornelius shit. Hey.
But, and I'm a, you know, believe it or not, I'm an intelligent brother. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying that in a cocky way. You know, a lot of times people see,
Right.
nigga, I done been through so much shit in my life. Nigga, I don't give a fuck about what nobody say. Unless you somebody that I know personally, that I need to pull up on and check your temperature. Right. You know, other than that, if you just actually went through the things that they going through and let them know that what's gangster, what's really gangster, like I was telling them. I asked them to raise their hand. And I said, which out of all y'all raise y'all hand, how many of y'all think y'all gangsters? And it was some of them that said that they felt like they were gangsters. And I said, but you know what's real gangster? Is changing your life for your mom, for your grandmother. And if you got kids, you know, for your kids. And, you know, I said, do you know how good it feels to hear your grandmother say that she proud of you because you changing and because you doing what she raised you to do? I said, that's the most gangster shit I ever experienced. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get them to understand that or whatever. And I, you know what I'm saying? I genuinely touched a couple of them. So that motivated me. So I ain't gonna stop.
That's real.
Hey, Mr. Guilty, aka Senor Hernandez. Who is this right here? Since we're talking about plots on Mista Ian, we can't skip over this goofball. Mr. Guilty, who is he? You want to tell the people, so I will. Let me tell you first how I found him before we get into his criminal record and why is he relevant for this video right here. I was minding my own business shopping for Craig Petty's on Temu and got disappointed when they tried to scam me with shitty products again. I thought to myself, what the Hernandy? Like I don't know that inside of the packaging of what's supposed to be Craig Petty's toy action figure, they tried to sell me fraud delusional kingpin Yo Gotti. This was limited edition, and it came with a sachet full of hate for young Dolph. It also came with a tiny pocket-sized Coke baggie, allowing him to sell make-believing about that cocaine stories to his Temu chain wearing CMF supporters. The only thing I like here is attachable comfy head rest for his big head when he gets tired of carrying it around all day. Of course, one silver spoon which is compatible with another Young Lil Yo Action figure edition. Don't let me forget about one fat book full of raps with stolen stories from all Memphis legends that even poor Craig can't tell his life story because Gotti done stole it already. And finally, the set comes with one golden ticket to attend the private Diddy freak-off party. After Temu tricked me into buying fake Craig Petties, I was curious and went to search for Roderick Kelly Next on Temu West Shop and found this broke cokehead right here. Meet another hot rod. I call him Temu Hot Rod because he was buying bags of coke to trap and ended up snorting it all away before he even had a chance to sell anything running around Miami, thinking he is Roderick Kelly high out his mind. His set comes with supporting liquor when he would run out of coke, getting high on his own supply, and an empty wallet because he was on the run for years, and that money he made working in warehouses, he done snorted it all in instead of doubling it up. We have to cover this goofy while talking hits on Mista Ian. You are asking yourself why. Well, let's start the story from the beginning, why he was even on the run, to how he met Goven, to the failed attempt on Mista Ian, and me getting his ass arrested for being another idiot harming women around Memphis, just like his little petty marijuana partner, Hernandez Govan. Justice for Brittany Starks.
Is fighting for her life at Regional 1, and a mother of 5 is fighting for her life at Regional 1 after her boyfriend reportedly shot her with a high-powered weapon and in front of her children. The Shelby County office has an active warrant out for Rodney McAtee. The 20-year-old is considered armed and dangerous. Local 24 News weekend anchor Annette Pegler has the plea tonight from the victim's family.
The victim, Brittany Starks, remains at Regional 1. She's in stable condition, but she has a long way to go in recovery. Her family says the man who did this needs to be arrested immediately.
He shot her in the chest, just 2 centimeters above her heart.
That's what Brianna Hawthorne said happened to her sister, Brittany Starks, Monday evening.
She tried to end her relationship with her boyfriend, and he decided that he was going to end her life.
The family says the shots were fired from an AK-47 just feet away from Starks' 5 children.
The people that know her, they know that she's a sweethearted person, soft-spoken, the whole 9 yards. And for this to happen to her, this is really, really a shame.
Fortunately, the kids were unharmed. Memphis police and Shelby County Sheriff's Department are now actively searching for this man, Rodney McAtee. Starks' family says McAtee has had a history of abuse and has had some run-ins with the law.
If you're in a relationship and you're feeling threatened, or you feeling that he's separating you from your family or anything like that, you try to get help.
They don't want another family to experience this pain.
He's armed and dangerous. 2 days ago, it was my sister. Tonight, tomorrow, it could be you.
And we want to show you again the picture of Rodney McAtee. If you've seen him or you have any information on where he may be, please call Memphis Police or the Shelby County Sheriff's Department. Reporting from the Medical District, Annette Pegler, Local 24 News.
And we want justice for Brittany. That's what this is about, justice for Brittany.
Family members of Brittany Starks, a mother of 5, are fighting for justice after they say she was shot in the chest by her boyfriend.
He intimidated her, the kids. He couldn't live with her, so he made sure that he made it perfectly clear that your life would be a living hell. She let him know that she didn't want to be with him anymore, and he shot her.
According to police reports, Starks managed to call police with a bullet wound in her chest. The report says earlier that evening, Memphis police received another domestic disturbance call at the same location. At the time, Starks said she didn't need any assistance.
He left the scene. The authorities came, he left the scene, and he returned. So that's premeditated.
Family members say all 5 of Starks' young children were home and witnessed everything. Thankfully, none of them were harmed. The police report lists Rodney McAtee as the suspect. WRAG learned he currently has a warrant out for his arrest for aggravated assault.
When you endanger children, you should be charged for these. When you attempt to murder a person in front of their kids, you should be charged with it.
In North Memphis, Quimitra Wilborn, WRAG News Channel 3.
Wow, I agree. He should have been charged with attempted murder, not just aggravated assault shooting a woman in her chest with AK, because she didn't want his bum ass anymore. And I definitely agree shooting her in front of all those kids. He should get child endangerment charges, 1 per child. What if he killed her? She just happened to pull a miracle and survive. Then this goofy was telling her how he will stalk her and make her life living hell just because she dumped his ass. This is a psycho, kind of reminds me of Goven. They would be great friends. Whoops, I mean, they are very compatible already friends. Justice for Brittany Starks. So now this article is an update while he was on the run, how the family still didn't give up and looking for his junkie ass. Let's read this real quick. July 1st, 2020. Family fights for justice after mother of 5 shot by boyfriend. Memphis, Tennessee. A mother of 5 is fighting for her life after family members say her boyfriend shot her in the chest. Now, they're not only advocating for the end of domestic violence, but for justice for Brittany Starks. We want justice for Brittany. That's what this is about. Justice for Brittany, said Brianna Hawthorne, the victim's sister. Hawthorne said her sister had let her boyfriend know she didn't want to be with him anymore. Family says he then shot her. He intimidated her, the kids, said her mother, Demetria Hughes. He couldn't live with her, so he made sure that he made it perfectly clear that your life would be a living hell. According to police reports, Starks managed to call police with a bullet wound in her chest. The report says earlier that evening, Memphis police received another domestic disturbance call-out. The report says earlier that evening, Memphis police received another domestic disturbance call at the same location. At the time, Starks said she didn't need any assistance. Another family member said the boyfriend left the scene, then came back. Family members say all 5 of Starks' young children were home and witnessed everything. None of them were harmed. The police report lists Rodney McAtee as a suspect. He currently has a warrant out for his arrest for aggravated assault. Police say the suspect is a 39-year-old, 6'5", 170-pound black man with dreads. He drives a 4-door gray Cadillac. They don't want another family to experience this pain. They say McAtee continues to call Starks' hospital room and harass her. He's armed and dangerous. 2 days ago it was my sister. Tonight, tomorrow it could be you, Hawthorne explained. Anyone with information that may lead to McAtee, please call Memphis Police or Shelby County Sheriff's Office. And that's exactly what I did. Congratulations, we got our first arrest on the channel. We will get into after the news report where I will explain exactly why I did it besides wanting suckers like him to get caught after what he did to that poor woman over a breakup. He should have shot himself and do everybody a favor. Congratulations also to Brittany Starks and her family. Justice for Dolph got your back. If you know Brittany or her family, let them know it's our signature all over it.
Fox 13 News at 10 starts now.
Praise the Lord. We thank God for justice. We thank God for allowing us to know that justice does prevail.
New tonight, a man accused of shooting his girlfriend in front of her 5 children is now behind bars. The Shelby County Sheriff's Office arrested the fugitive after he was on the run for more than 5 years. Tonight, the victim's family is speaking only to Fox 13. Fox 13's Carolyn Serta joins us live tonight. Carolyn, clearly this family is devastated. But maybe as of tonight, there's a little bit of relief.
Absolutely right, Darcy. I spoke with Brittany Starks' mother and aunt, both telling me they're breathing a sigh of relief after learning that the man police say shot their loved one and has been on the run for 5 years is now in custody.
Everyone today since we found out about it, everyone has been excited. I spoke to Brittany personally, and she was just so, she's like, finally, finally, finally.
A huge sigh of relief for the family of Brittany Starks.
Brittany is a very kind-hearted person.
The mother of 5 was shot in the chest, Memphis police say, by her then boyfriend. The violence unfolding in front of her children.
She went through a horrible time in the hospital and everything. And this, you know, we've just been there for her and trying to help her overcome what trauma she has, because she does have trauma.
The shooting happened at an apartment complex on North Merton in Hollywood in June 2020. More than 5 years later, the accused gunman is now behind bars. On Monday, Shelby County deputies arrested 46-year-old Rodney McAtee.
And we are just giving all glory and honor to God for having his hand in the matter, because without him, I'm sure he would still be on the run.
While Starks recovered, her family says she and her children have lived the past 5 years afraid of what McAtee might do next.
Yeah, there was fear. She did move. And just been, everyone's been supportive of her, because she has been kind of like become more of an introvert. And the children were just in as much trauma as their mom, because he was very abusive.
McAtee is charged with aggravated assault and convicted felon in possession of a firearm.
Yeah, we're just continuing to seek justice. Anything that the judicial system needs us to do, we, as a family, we want to do that, because so that this won't happen to anybody else.
Now, we are still working to find out if the Memphis Safe Task Force played any role in finding or arresting McAtee. Meantime, he is expected for a court appearance tomorrow morning. Darcy?
That is Fox 13's Carolyn Sutter reporting live tonight. Thank you so much, Carolyn.
Fox 13 is trying to find out if the Memphis Safe Task Force is responsible for finding and arresting McAtee. They should try to find out, didn't Justice Fordolph told someone to report his ass and get him picked up? Because I sure did. Before I tell you why and get to plot on Mista Ian, let me pull another similar case he got himself caught up in. Man put roommate in chokehold. Threatened to shoot him in argument over dishes, police say. November 23rd, 2019, less than a year before shooting Brittany Starks. A Memphis man is facing criminal charges after he allegedly threatened to shoot his roommate during an argument about washing dishes. The incident happened Friday at a home in Westwood. The victim called police the next day. The victim told police he was doing dishes with a towel that was already in the sink when his roommate, Rodney McAtee, walked up. McAtee accused the victim of using his face towel to clean dirty dishes, according to a police report. Trending stories. The victim said they started arguing and his roommate went into bedroom. He walked back out with a gun, put the victim in a headlock, pressed a gun to his chest, and said, "I will blow your ass off," according to an arrest affidavit. The victim left the home. When he returned the next day, he saw McAtee asleep in his bed with a gun lying next to him. He called police. When officers arrived, they took McAtee into custody. 2 guns were found in his room, Smith and Wesson 9mm in the bed, and a Davis Industries .22 caliber on a nightstand. A check of the 9mm showed it was stolen from Gleason, Tennessee, according to the arrest affidavit for McAtee. McAtee was arrested and charged with aggravated assault, theft of property, and conviction felon in possession of a handgun. Goddamn Temu, Mr. Cold, you are real cold. I can't believe he put his roommate in a headlock and pressed gun to his chest like they did Brittany and said he would blow his ass off. Rodney shouldn't even be outside to attempt to kill Brittany. Shaking my head at Shelby County. Great job, dummy. Enjoy that time. If you go to official Broward County mugshot zone, you will see he got picked up in Florida. If you look at his charges of his arrest, they are all out of state. Not a single one in Florida. Why? Because he wasn't caught with something else, and they ran his name. No, it is because I told somebody to turn his ass in. Why would I do that? Because I figured out he knows Goven personally and did attempt to set up Mista Ian to get killed about a week before his arrest, I believe. Basically, his name came across in my research trying to tie Goven to Florida, and I found him as an interesting character to research. Then I start seeing Mista Ian Hookah Lounge all over his page and start inquiring around. I never had his government name, but I already nicknamed him Temmie Hot Rod after Ian created short interview for Pop Austin, and Stan Blewett, he sent it to me and plenty of other bloggers. After I posted 2 clips from there, I had a strange YouTube account write a whole personal essay on Mista Ian on my page being very disrespectful and direct with his secrets. It was strange to me, so I sent him the screenshots, and to be careful because the guy threatened him as well. Ian was shocked because the account behind it is the same account Temmie Hot Rod was telling him he is working with. Temmie Hot Rod came to Miami while he was on the run and asked Ian for a job because of cousin by marriage type of situation. He told Ian he got into it with some dangerous people back in Memphis and owed a lot of money, but did not tell him he was on the run. Anyway, when Ian saw the account threatening on my page was the same one this goofy showed him as to be one of his partners because Ian was telling him to start a channel feeling bad for his empty pockets. I told Ian not to tell him we caught on to it, but to play it off cool like he never saw those comments and threats. After we covered Temmie Hot Rod, I'm going to show you that part and what was said, but it had to be told by Temmie Hot Rod to that person due to how specific and personal things they posted on my channel. It had to be somebody who knows almost as much as Goven knows about Mista Ian with current latest developments being around you daily. Anyway, about a week or 2 after the first long message they posted on my channel, Ian didn't pick up the phone for a couple of days, and we supposed to do something those days, so I got worried. He finally texted me that somebody just tried to set him up and kill him through his business service. He told me he saw those people with Temmie Hot Rod before. Then I immediately thought of Goven having something to do with all this, because I knew Goven already threatened Ian once about a year earlier. So I asked Ian, was Goven at his Hookah Lounge grand opening in Miami? He confirmed it. Then I start asking some other people who were there what was going on, because Ian wouldn't tell me these things. Basically, I found out yo boy Goven and this goofy clicked, and it was a friendship on the first sight. No wonder, since both they're crazy, as be hurting women around Memphis. I found out Temmie Hot Rod arranged some weed that night for Goven and some of his females too. That was in January 2021. Once I put all this together, starting from Temmie Hot Rod's failed rapper buddy threatening on my channel to Ian, to Goven knowing both of these idiots, the whole plot fall into place. Then I asked Ian to give me Temmie Hot Rod government name. I literally found the articles. He was on the run the moment I entered his name and had to get him picked up first, because of what he did to that woman, and second for trying to line up Mista Ian with, or for Goven in collaboration with a failed rapper from North Memphis playing in my comments. More on him in a second. So I send a request to someone to turn his ass in. Also because they were threatening Ian kids and all types of shit with Goven energy and signature all over it. Adios, Temu Hot Rod. Yours and Goven's, and that weirdo failed rapper attempt was unsuccessful, and I managed to warn Ian on time before you idiots get another chance. Talking about another chance. Do you remember from the beginning of this video how Goven told to who he thought was Ian, how he just spoke to someone Ian spoke the other day? I wonder, was he just trolling knowing he spoke with Temu Hot Rod before he got picked up, or there could be another backstabber around? Either way, we warned Ian immediately about that one. That was a close call, and I busted the first plot and got this fugitive picked up. Last second type shit. Of course, he follows Goven, Gotti, Juke, and CMG. By the end of the year, when he was on the run, he already started rocking Temu jewelry. We know he was by that time in Florida, because this picture was taken in December, when Ian was already getting ready for his grand opening, which Temu Hot Rod documented. Tamara and Mr. Petty talk. Guess who following each other? As you can see per his own post, Temu Hot Rod was part of Electric City Lounge since even the renovation process months after shooting Poor Britney. Throughout November and December they were still doing renovation and launched the lounge on January 31st, 2021, where Goven showed up to support and where he met Temu Hot for the first time. That picture where Ian stands on the chair, it was taken on October 12th, 2022, showing they had a solid run for at least 2 years, and in that period even Criminal Man hosted Special Ladies Night. Ian honored his fellow crew member Craig Petty's by continuing his tradition of champagne in the wheelbarrow. Who wants to see a short clip of Temu Hot Rod playing with water high out his mind before I move on to that failed rapper who is mingling with Temu Hot and Goven and threatening Ian kids on my page? Oh yeah, and Temu Hot Rod been obsessed with bloggers, and the case all coked out since the beginning, taking lines together during the shows with his favorite host who is currently imprisoned. There is no episode from no blog Temu Hot would miss.
Know how we do this shit, this? Yeah. Know how we do this shit, this? Yeah.
Well, what do we have over here? Check out another junkie, Mr. 2845 Lucci, also obsessed with Dolph Case blogs. We haven't identified him yet, but the police sure will after goofy shit he wrote on my page. Memphis, we need your help. Please let us know his government name and social media in the comments below. What we for sure know about Mr. 2845 Lucci is that he is a failed rapper who can't get one single like or 100 views on his songs in whole 12 years. Ket was talking about failed rappers. Check this one out. I won't play his garbage music so we can all laugh together, but I am not going to have everybody unsubscribe from my channel over making y'all ears bleed. Before we get into his threats, let's see where else we caught him cheerleading. Correct. None other than Goven's page flirting in the comments. The video on the left side of the screen is a short clip Mr. 2845 Lucci posted on his own YouTube page promoting Goven. keep that in the back of your mind when we come to the next person pushing Goven. Mr. 2845 Goofy been real friendly with Goven and saying how they locked in cuz and that Goven should keep his foot on their neck. Whose neck? And Goven replied, no other options available. So I added my reply from a burner account since Quet blocked me long time ago, like my ex-girlfriend telling both of them to make sure them and Temu Hot Rod don't miss this video and to block this account again, pussy, which of course he did within 2 hours. On the right side of your screen you can see more of his activity on Goven's page and how many comments he already left. Why is all this important and how is it connected to Goven's threats and Temu Hot Rod trying to line up Mista Ian? Let me show you right now. Remember how I told you during Temu Hot Rod segment how certain long comments posted on my page by a failed rapper from Memphis made me catch on the whole play they running? Well, this is it on the left side. I put Goven's picture over it because he is bashing Ian like crazy. So I will tell you the most important thing he said, proving they all been talking behind the scenes. And how stupid all these characters are. I wouldn't be surprised if they left all the evidence in their Instagram messages. Anyway, failed rapper knew way too much about Ian, like his personal things, which only somebody around Ian 24/7 like Temu Hot Rod would know. He is as well informed as Goven is. He had to be talking to one of them, if not both. In this message longer than this 4-hour video, he talked about him being from North Memphis and how he went to school with him. He was saying how Ian never wrote one syllable for Gotti, which is incorrect according to online data and lyrics in Gotti songs. Then he started saying this, making it well know he'd been talking to Quet at some point. He said that women beater and dope trafficker who died with $20,000 on all his bank accounts, Mr. Eblon, took over everything once Hot Rod went to federal prison, and how Hot invested hundreds of thousands in Ian, but could not sell 1,000 copies to save his or his son's life. That's exactly what this goofy wrote, confirming he knows about all Ian's and Quet's best friends, and even knowing who is Ian's son. Then he said he was Ian's ex-girlfriend cousin. Then he went on dick riding Gotti and getting on his knees for him. Also talked about business record for the lounge where Ian, Goven, and Temu Hot Rod were at. Now he started talking about Ian's baby mom and all their secrets, which only somebody who is in circle of Temu Hot Rod or Goven would know. Reading this message made me go warn Ian they all working together and stopping the attempt by alerting him just in time. Then he gets to talking how he got messages between Ian and his baby mom proving she been also feeding them info. All this started to sound like Goven typed up, constantly saying we or us. Now what made me for sure know this was typed up by Goven is when he said, "How would you feel, Ian, if you knew the same girl who treat you like an imbecile provided us with a great copy of an eviction notice with your credentials plastered at the top?" In the messages Quet sent to me, he literally says the same thing and talks about eviction notices. Talks bad about the venue in the same word choices as this goofy. I knew after this long, as text Goven not only threatening to take out Ian, but he assembled a crew of junkie failed rapper Avengers, just like he assembled that crew full of YouTube rats and weirdos. After this long message, everything was clear to me, and why I've been warning Ian to watch his back, since he didn't believe Goven was serious at that time until the attempt actually happened. Now, let's move on to the right side of the screen. 2 or 3 days after the attempt, this failed rapper from North Memphis got so high out his mind that he went under one of my regular supporters' comment instead of replying directly under the video. He said right after the failed attempt in Florida how he hopes it is considered gold when they turn that plastic-ass vehicle to a drop top on the freeway. Start watching your rear view. You could have got your son shot last week with the shenanigans. Next time won't be given the option to make it home. I don't care if you got a little league baseball team in the car. May God be with you all on that day. Now, I don't know what type of junkie threatening to kids like that. This has Goven and Temu Hot Rod written all over it. If he went to school with Ian and he is just from North Memphis and is just a random guy, how does he know all these the most recent updates? We already proved him, and Goven communicating all over Goven's page. Ian already put together how he knows Temu Hot Rod. Now he wants to get Ian so bad at the same time I've been dropping my videos pissing off Quet even more than before because he thought I would shut up after the trial when I didn't even get started yet. I need everyone from law enforcement watching this video to immediately stop everything you are doing and get this goofy picked up on threats and threats to kids and plotting on Ian with his junkies before something happens to a child. We do not tolerate any threats to children on this channel, and Memphis or law enforcement needs to expose this goofy immediately. What if Ian's son is with other kids from Florida when these junkies strike again? This needs to be urgently handled because after this video, they will for sure go one step further. After Quet's threats and saying how he's talking to the same people looking at this right now, I think we just put a major piece of the puzzle together on time before this escalates and lives get lost. The only messed up thing is that police will cover for Goven again, and probably nothing will be done until these goofies actually take lives away. If you speak up for young Dolph, while everybody else scared my channel will always protect these type of people, while Dolph's own friends acting like a bunch of scary hoes letting Goven smear his name daily. If anybody threatens to Goven's kids, I would not allow that either, and if I was close to them, would kick their teeth out not to be able to make another threat to no child. These goofies are so startled with all info, I am releasing that in desperation act, they even want kids dead. Yeah, this definitely has Goven written all over it, and since I leaked his threats to Ian 2 times, already it all makes perfect sense now what these goofies got going on. But wait, there is more. Way more. Goofies. Goven's online plays are gift that just keeps on giving. See, there is Goven's lifelong friend to Truth, who Goven sent to infiltrate and spin narratives and games per Goven's instructions on multiple channels. All this was happening months leading up to his trial. The Truth was on a James Bond mission at Tamara Channel the most. He also tried with Alabama Hida, who saw through it immediately as well. It was so obvious what they were doing. Also bragging recently how he knows what happened in all these high-profile unsolved murders. Giving breakdown of hit on Juke step by step, told to him by Ket. Anyway, his comments on the screen are from before the trial, when he came to play in my comments after Quet, who knows better, told him not to respond. Going from top to bottom, he told me how I do a lot of capping even though Quet slips up sometimes and confirms my info. The second comment, he is talking about stop speaking on his brother aka Quet, or he will expose my red ass. Justice for Dolph feels like granting him his wish and get to exposing. Quet is already mad at him for responding to me. Wait till he sees how I turned the truth against Quet. Third comment. He is saying he will slap the shit out of me in the same period he was going on this rant about me being Mista Ian, because him and Goven in their tiny minds convinced themselves that despite me trying my best to draw the line that I am definitely not him, or that he runs the channel in any form. And finally he gets to saying the same thing Quet and Mr. 2845 Lucci, who both have street beef with kids, were saying to me. How Ian is a failed rapper and bringing up a girl. Meaning this proves all four of them communicated during the unsuccessful plot they even admitted to. For geniuses, Goven, Mr. 2845 Lucci, Temu Hot Rod, and The Truth. The Truth absolutely loves goofy videos like Goven and Flip. He personally requested this video, so we can all watch it together. Let's get to unmasking and exposing the truth. Or should we call you? Derek Wayne Patterson Jr. from Memphis, Tennessee. The definition of a goofball. And this dude wants to beef with me? There's no more beef here, Derek, you ate it all. And why are you so zesty? Look how stupid he is. He has in his own Facebook description, using his catchword The Truth, nicknaming his channel after. His Facebook description says Truth Speaker with a big heart. Truistery. His other names on Facebook are Truth Speaker aka Truth. Busted. You thought I wouldn't find you? In addition, check out his education. While infiltrating Tamara Channel, the goofball said he had at least 2 universities matching his Facebook. Okay, if you look like this, please leave me alone and stop threatening you're going to slap anybody. All slapping you're going to do is slapping yourself, hoping you are stuck in a bad dream. What Quet going to do to you when he sees how you turned on him? Alright, Justice for Dolph, move this disturbing sight from my view and move on. Can't watch this unstable Quet's YouTube plant anymore. No wonder Quet could easily convince him to stay stalking bloggers for him, spread narratives, and attack people. Derek has been religiously sharing every Goven's post since before and after his trial, created reels from his content to share it around like a good boy, and even was Goven's moderator. There's only a handful of Goven's mentally ill friends even sharing his work because nobody else in their right minds want to cheer on him after what they know he did to Dolph. Derek has been around Goven for at least 25 years. They both used to make posts tagging each other how they are best friends. In the bottom right corner we can see that in 1999, Derek, his brother Darian, and Quet were flying through the Orange Mound in Chevy Caprice, down Sems, with 150 pounds in the trunk, snitching again how Goven used to sell weed he got from Mr. Cold with Derek. I said snitching again because he did tell on his dealer. Thinking out loud. True story from The Truth. Sloppy Goofy strikes again. After his snitching paperwork and going on tomorrow show to solve Big Juke murder, telling everything Goven told him about it. Derek, even after trying to claim Juke's body, so bad on Goven talking about stop speaking on street business if you're not with the business. Speculating, gossiping, and name-dropping publicly about a situation that involves street business is one of the quickest ways to meet Jesus. Some of y'all so addictive to likes that you're willing to risk your life. I look at some of y'all post and I just shake my head. Stay out the way, stay in your lane, and let the police do their job. That's what they get paid for. Hopefully, this message will save a life. Proverbs 21 verse 23, whoever keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps himself out of trouble. Hashtag shut up, hashtag true story. There he goes confirming they all been gossiping with Goven about the case even within the first week, trying to intimidate people from speaking, and then turns around when Quet sends him on a mission and solves all the cases like Juke, Howard Barnett, Teasy, and others. MPD and FBI need to talk to him since he gets terrified when police approaches and admits to everything on the spot. He can solve all these cases, especially now that I made him turn on Goven. Derek and Goven are biggest Yo Gotti fangirls. I caught Goven multiple times in his comments around the days of young Dolph's tragedy. The name crossed out was Derek Patterson. I just didn't want to waste time looking for the originals. Goven once told him how only a goofy would feel some kind of way about some street beef that has absolutely nothing to do with him. Can't have a gangsta bone in his body. Well, that's exactly what Quet did. And right after Dolph passed away, here goes Goven in his comments, excited, can't wait for CM10 to come out, knowing Gotti moved the release date to add some more things he had to say to Dolph and self-snitch. On the release day of CMF10, Derek been jamming to it, especially where Gotti talked about the case. Now this is how I unmasked him, verified, and then turned on Goven without even trying. First he was pissed off at Tamara already for saying Quet played role in Dolph's death, and then started playing a game with me, not expecting this outcome right here. He asked me to tell his rat pack, who am I really working with? I told him first, yo bitch, and then I changed my strategy to make him tell on himself who he working with and who he is. It worked. I told him his own name being top 3 main suspects who could be behind the page. That person had to be real close with Goven and talk about channel plans. That person had to be a real nerd and sharing Goven's every post religiously. Derek immediately came to my mind and saw his education and alter ego truth speaker on Facebook. After I told him his own name to force a reaction out of him, if it is indeed Derek behind the page, here he comes all paranoid thinking Goven told me. He said, you think all of you going to play both sides and fool the entire internet? Huh? Tell him y'all showed your hand. Checkmate. Let's play then. Not only the skinny man Derek was playing a spy James Bond on Tamara and Hidda pages, but not he is the world best detective thinking his own boss Goven threw him under the bus. If I tried to come up with a brilliant plan like this to make him turn on Goven, I couldn't. While he was connecting imaginary dots of Goven being behind my page, putting out content very much against his favor, and him reporting himself to FBI, I was writing another message. I said I got my money onto truth being goofy Derek crying over his health, how God gave up on him, but pushing his devil little boyfriend Goven. I tried to bring up his health to see if I could get a name matching reaction and confirmation. Then just in case, because Goven and his buddies are trapped in their own imagination, that if they did not understand my joke that I am not working with Derek, and if Goven believes that and start threatening him and his family to send me the screenshots. idiot started believing his own false information, just like he'd been convincing himself that I am Mista Ian, and keeps on confusing me, because I thought it is not possible I am seeing what I am thinking that I am seeing. Derek says how for a while he'd been trying to figure out how people throw Gotti under the bus, and then ride for him too. He gets it now. He turns on Goven thinking we work together, and exposes him for doing to Gotti what we all been saying this whole time. Then he told me to change my name, because I don't want justice for Dolph being working with Goven. I asked him what is going on in his tiny brain. Then he tells me, I am not gonna lie, y'all ran a cold game. Fooled both sides, even him, but I'm going to let you make the first move. Now I know the play y'all rotten, and rest in peace Dolph. I couldn't believe this guy is this stupid being hurt. He got exposed, and then he thought he not the only one running plays with Goven. I told him also he doesn't get to say rest in peace after helping Goven with his plot and online games. Before I show you what else was saying, I had to stop by Goven's page and tell him how what shocked me the most was seeing Derek Patterson running around YouTube chats for him, thinking I wouldn't catch his ass. Now he turned on Goven because he thought you working with me, and that he told me who is behind the page. I love to laugh at Goven from time to time when I ruin his relationships and cause conflicts with people who helping him. We are reading from left to right. He got all spooked, saying we don't have to go to the drawing board now and to keep fooling the whole world. He will not say anything else and just going to watch the chessboard. I told him to stop buying pills at Pressure World from Quet. Wasn't he the one bragging about sitting right next to Goven? Then he replied by saying Goven told me who he was, so I should know he doesn't do drugs. I told him I assumed he is Derek, because only him and a handful of more idiots support Goven, but crying online why God left you sick. I started laughing, asking him, now I work with Goven, after he did the full online play. He got more angry and told me to keep playing and how he will expose all of us. Goven, pay attention now. He says, if you know who I am, then you definitely know I don't give a fuck how this plays out. You gotta know that. Please keep that in mind at all times, Goven watching him turn on you. Then all the way to the right, he says now me and Goven are in the same car. I asked him please get to exposing everything and everybody. And on the last picture, I poke his health again, getting the final confession. He was indeed Derek by him. Responding to my carefully structured sentence him, tell me, how is he as Derek dying? But he is on my rat ass. What a complete idiot. And now completely unmasked. We are reading from left to right again. He told me thanks for the alley hoop. What the fuck is an alley hoop? Now we all know the play, but Emma, tell the truth. Go ahead, it would be to lie, not the truth. I told him to focus on his health, Derek, because he is irrelevant. Then I also told him to please expose everything he knows, because he doesn't know one thing about me. He said say less, game on, and turned out to be the one getting exposed, laughing out loud. Then he keeps saying we all playing both sides like that goofy rat Charleston, and how I am still running plays because of my lucky guess. Boy, I am waiting for Goven to see this. They will never be friends again. So I told him to get off drugs. On the right side now, he wanted to play Scooby-Doo and unmask gangsters. Go ahead, I am waiting. It is definitely game on since you asked and I won. Genius Derek further confirms that it is indeed him by saying he is probably the only dope boy with 4 degrees, and how we are definitely not smarter than him. You can see all his universities on his page. Since he asked me how is he dying, but he is supposed to be on my rat ass. Let me show you how and why. Since at least 2019, he started being more conscious about health and positive energy, so this won't be too difficult to understand. He even admitted the devil himself, Hernandez Govan, used to call him during the trial to check on his health. Anyway, around the time Derek was running YouTube infiltration games for Goven, he had to get $100,000 worth of home dialysis equipment. His whole studio was converted in the hospital room, praying to God to heal his kidneys while working with the devil himself. What a coincidence, while he is helping Goven, is when God turned his back on him and had him facing death over not applying learned principles about positive energy he claimed to have learned years ago. Absolutely sad. This guy was hooked up every day like a lab rat trying to save his life and spend his potentially the last minutes on running plays with Goven and promoting him on his goofy, dry Facebook page. You receive what you put out. Goofy. You need to focus on dying instead of spending all day on social media. How I also knew it was him behind the page was his playlist on YouTube account to Truth, especially the list called Health. He had all these weight loss video for his fat ass. Then the videos talking about insulin, diabetes, sugar, nutrition, fruits, self-sustaining, and similar. This is definitely him. First, after discovering fruit and vegetables for the first time in his life in 2020, after health events in 2020 to 2022, he is admitting he was asking God for strength because he was placed in situations where he had to fight for his life health-wise. Probably after celebrating with Goven regarding young Dolph's tragedy. In February of 2025, he says after spending the last 14 days in the hospital and nearly going into a code blue on my 3rd day, I couldn't breathe, kidneys wasn't working, blood pressure was bottoming, and heart rate up and down. I learned 3 very important lessons. 1 hashtag, there is no wisdom in the heavens, earth, or universe that compares to the wisdom of the Most High God. 2 hashtag, no matter what's going on around you or in your life, trust in the Lord with all your heart. While you're trying to figure out and comprehend what's going on, God has already worked it out. Number 3, take care of yourself before you take care of anything or anyone else. Put yourself first. Make you and your health/well-being a priority. You get one body in this life. Show it that you love it every day. I love y'all, and I'm glad to be back. Just to be able to log in on here and see what's going on is a blessing. Then in May of 2025, leading up to games online and Goven's trial, he said that after reading the comments on my post the other day about dialysis, I saw my mama say that I'm her bloodline and we ain't no wimps. That struck a nerve. So I refused to let dialysis beat me today. I got up and went early, and I got home early. I cut my music on and slept through the process. Thank you, Ma, for speaking to the warrior in me. Now I'm sitting on the porch having lunch with my baby, Austin, giving him the game of life, instilling in him to take care of his body, because health is wealth. Always try to do the right thing, treat people right and fair, and fear nothing but God, COA, hashtag, APTTMH, hashtag, truistery regarding his mother. It looks like she has passed away those months, as well while he was dealing with Devil Goven. What a coincidence. And finally, even now, in 2026, he be still getting COVID 7 years after the pandemic for keep running evil games with the devil. Then he goes into conspiracies, how somebody is digitally controlling it. Karma is for sure controlling it in your case. He can never feel normal again because he is possessed with Goven's evil. July 27th, 2025, Dolph's birthday. While Derek was hooked up on machines for 8 hours per day every single day instead of searching for a new kidney, so the technology wouldn't be keeping him alive by filtering his kidneys artificially. He was over there on Tamara and hit a page acting all kinds of ways and running all kinds of plays. This is absolutely sad. How much are these people really obsessed? And how much they put YouTube first before their health. He couldn't help himself but to spend his last days running campaigns for Goven on Tamara page right before his trial. This is absolutely disturbing. One day later, 2 Corinthians 12 verses 7 to 8, because of these surprisingly great revelations. Therefore, in order to keep me from becoming conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan, to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." In 2 Corinthians, God allows Satan to afflict Paul, not because Paul is a bad or evil person, but because God knew that this affliction would keep Paul humble, and it would keep Paul from straying away from him. I think one thing that we all can agree on is pain and affliction will keep you in conversation with God. So as I was laying here on this dialysis machine, I began to pray like I normally do. I was explaining to God how I didn't want to have to keep doing this crap, and right when I began to feel down, I heard a voice in my spirit say, "This is not a death sentence, this is just a thorn." I immediately sat up on the side of my bed and said, "Lord, I trust you." Sometimes in this life, the Most High will give you something to hold on to in order to keep you in relationship with him. This sounds like this verse been talking about Goven's evil, which infected Derek significantly, until he sees that Goven was his thorn the whole time he want heal. But watch Derek take that thorn out, he will heal immediately. September 28th, 2025. Waiting on God. Fiend. It's 4 a.m. and hooked up to this dialysis machine in my thoughts. I've asked myself over and over 1,000,000 times, why is this happening to me? I'm done asking that question. From now on, I'm focusing on what I can learn from this situation, #thinking out loud. I already solved that mystery. For you, why is it keep happening to you? Because you've been running online plays with Goven and messing with young Dolph. That karma is super quick. Dolph getting his good karma instantly, like he ended all poverty worldwide. October 1st, 2025. Sitting in my recliner and hooked up to this dialysis machine, listening to my music and staring into the ceiling, thinking to myself, these Enkskas can't count. They counted me out, thinking kidney disease would beat me. It can't kill me, but it pissed me off like the Hulk #thinking out loud shut up Derek before Goven comes over and turns off all your machines. With you latest conspiracy better believe Goven will be at your house tomorrow making you piss yourself, and them female panties you be wearing. All Goven has to do is come inside and fuck up your machines. You a dead man without them. Keep with your exposing promise and play with Goven so I can laugh when he spanks your goofy ass. Focus on dying Derek. What else this goofy told us during his online campaigns? First, for the Howard Barnett situation. Like I told you, all Goven's friends know what happened. Derek insinuates he knows the details by saying going by where that vehicle was found. That case will probably never be solved. And then when we talked about hit on Big Juke, I said the truth wants to claim Juke body so bad for Quet. I seen how pissed off was Quet when they credited his work to a wrong person. The truth says the same people who killed Big Juke also killed TZ. Keep snitching the truth. Please expose all that Goven told you. You are doing great so far. Less than 24 hours after unmasking Derek, he ran and changed his whole username from Datruth39 to DLKJR45. He is indeed 45 years old. Back after Goven's trial, he was calling out me, True Results, Stan G, and Mr. Petty for being on Goven's ass. He then threatened to expose my sissy red ass because him and Goven were 101% sure that I am Mista Ian. Dumb and dumber. Not only he changed his username, but deleted every single comment and live chat message he left of Tamara Page like I wouldn't find him again. Did Goven gave me this username to you fat goofy. Also, the truth had all recent Goven's clips on his page until the day that I unmasked him. After he turned on Goven due to my actions, he even pulled all them clips he made for him trying to promote the devil. Another sucker around Goven I may turn on him. I am the MVP. Keep running, Derek. Goven definitely on your ass after this fiasco. I had to go troll him on his own page and told him to give me some Goven's DMs or to come clean what he had him doing on Tamara's page. He deleted my comments and blocked me. I captured my own responses and his stayed. Let's read them real quick. Man, I don't give a fuck what video you create. I told you I believe all y'all working together. You, Ian, and Goven. I meant that. I peeped the play the moment you mentioned my name. Y'all been working together the whole time, creating chaos to keep the story relevant. I could be wrong, but I'm 90% positive I'm right about it. Y'all working together, trying to get views from both sides. I got an interview coming real soon that's going to expose what I believe the play is. I believe y'all using Stan G2, but he ain't figured it out yet. Or maybe he's part of the play too. I believe Tamara is sincere about Dolph. I believe Alabama Hitta is sincere about Dolph. And I believe True Results is sincere about Dolph. But Ion believe you J4D. Even if you ain't Mista Ian, Ian has already let it be known that he's working with you. He said that on Tamara's show. I watched Ian throw Goven under the bus and then cheer for him at the same time. That was the first red flag. Then Goven asked me not to say nothing to you because he said that you was Ian, second red flag. Then when I actually said something to Ian, Goven wasn't happy, third red flag. So that day you mentioned my name on Tamara show exposed the play to me. There's one thing you said that I know Goven told you. And for the record, I ain't never been hiding. I am who I am, and I most definitely ain't no rotten ass N-word. Ask Goven. I'm real as they come. I'm straight up and down. If I'm with you, I'ma go against the grain with you until you show me you ain't shit. Ask Goven. He'll tell you. Hashtag true story. I read that long-ass message. Once again, you can't know me, because if you did then, you'd know I don't give a damn about none of that shit. Goven don't scare me. Like I said for the third time now, I think you, Ian, and Goven in the same car. I have specific reasons for believing this. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Elle don't give a damn about nothing else you said. I ain't never been afraid of Freddy Krueger or the boogeyman. Hashtag true story. You heard that, Goven. He has never been afraid of Freddy Krueger or the boogeyman. How he changed from hating on true results to now acting like he on his side. I am seriously hoping this idiot goes and do the interviews exposing Goven. Shit, if he wants, I would let him use my platform to expose all Goven's plays. See, I told y'all Goven told everybody to ignore me and not to respond to me, but he watching with his fan ass. Now time for some snitching paperwork. The truth was saying how all of his charges were non-violent charges. He asked me then to chime in. Oh, trust me, Derek, you don't want that. He said he got time to argue with me today, and how he got his last charge in 2011, and how he is an ex-drug dealer who used to sell drugs with Quet. Let me chime in then on his criminal record. Watch this shit right here. Personally appeared before me Pickering and made oath that on or about the 27th day of March 2009 in said county and within the jurisdiction of the criminal court of Shelby County, Tennessee, one Derek W. Patterson, age 28, sex male, whose last known address is 847 E. Dempster, Memphis, Tennessee, 38106, did unlawfully commit the offenses of manufacture, deliver, sell controlled substance, TCA 39-17-417, and the essential facts constituting said offenses and the source of the affiance information are as follows. On March 27th, 09 at 21:03 hours, officers Pickering, 1806, and Meyer, 11609, responded to drug/narcotics violation/felony at 2999 Radford, and the reporting officer advised officers had just responded to an auto theft call at 2941 N Radford, where a 1999 Dodge Ram with damage to the rear bumper had been stolen. Per the victim Jimmy Williams, the last time this happened, he located his truck was located on Radford 2 houses from Sems. Officers preceded E.B. Radford from the scene and observed a red Dodge Ram pickup with minor damage to the rear bumper was located sitting behind 2999 Radford with a male black in the passenger seat. Believing this to possibly be the stolen truck, officers stopped the patrol car and approached the truck, observing both defendants walking away from the now empty truck. Passenger door to the truck was cracked open with the window down and the interior light still on. Both defendants were visibly nervous and claimed not to know anything about the truck or the address they were at. Defendants were detained and frisked for officer safety, and a small bag of marijuana was recovered from the right front pocket of both defendants. defendants were placed in the squad car, and Officer Pickering observed a large bag of what appeared to be marijuana in plain view on the passenger seat of the truck. A second large bag containing what appeared to be marijuana was recovered from under the driver's seat. 702 Major Volner made the scene. OCU investigators made the scene and interviewed defendants on the scene. Marijuana tested positive and weighed 1 pound at 201 Poplar PE room, where it was tagged. A electronic scale was located in the center console of a gray Chrysler Sebring claimed by suspect Lynn Cedric. Both suspects voluntarily stated that they had come to buy marijuana from Bobo, but that he had run away when officers arrived. No subject was seen running from the scene. These events occurred in Shelby County, Tennessee. AliExpress asked drug dealers. Not only they got caught chilling right after they bought a pound, but both of them even snitched on poor Bobo. Derek talking about not being scared of Freddy Krueger. He sure was terrified of MPD. What a scary rat. No wonder him and Quet got along snitching on all drug dealers in Memphis. And finally, the same day Derek been turning on Goven due to thinking we worked together, and because he got all emotional for being unmasked first, he started taking shots at Goven on his goofy Facebook, talking about how he never had to worry about one of these guys he tagged to cross him like he believes Goven did. Then he started jamming to songs like Disloyal by Anthony Q. He was also days leading up to our argument. After I first dropped his name, he started talking about how he is a master in being quiet and acting like he doesn't know, when he knows the whole truth. Het gets a thrill out of seeing how far will people go before he starts exposing what he knows. I am tired of him yapping. Get to exposing Goven, already you scary hospital patient. And for sure he had to send some subliminals to Quet adding BO Lil Kenny threatening type of song called in my DM, where he reposted Criminal Man post talking about sadly people don't find out how strong you are until they go against you. Quet, what you going to do about this, you pussy? Derek, you need to stop infiltrating channels for Goven and get ready for war with him over your delusions. See how karma works. You threatened to expose and you got exposed. You need to first worry about not dying on us here and clean up that junky mess off your computer table, you lazy fat fuck. And please stop putting sniper scopes on assault rifles, grenade launches on Glocks, and silencers on RPGs. Congratulations. You have made it through this 4-hour-long roller coaster video. What we covered were Goven's threats to Mista Ian and how Judge covered them up and gave my email to Goven just like I planned it to prove a cover-up. Then we went into the conflict of interest between Judge and the defendant Goven, why she went above and beyond to protect him, and her husband's relationship with Goven's grandma and uncle. Then we flash back to other supporting crimes and times Goven threatened innocent women, supporting all-about claims before exploring junkie Avengers. He assembled to take out Mista Ian and put false allegations on him. From Temuhat Rod to Mr. 2845 Lucci to Dying Derek, we still owe you to talk about Goven's clothing deal, being around guns again as a convicted felon, and the last time he got caught he snitched on T-Rex and his family. Mr. Get Them sentenced. And of course about the biggest Goven family secrets, explaining a lot of things, and why he had to take hit on young Dolph. You can expect that video sometime tomorrow. Thank you all for watching, and make sure you don't miss the next epic video tomorrow. I got some pure fire for you. I did not want to include here because all brains are fatigued by now, and I want you all to see the story about Charles and Frances Govan completely fresh, and who did something real dirty to Goven's grandma, and where all her money ended up at. It's Dolph. Thank you all for coming, and have a nice evening. I also need to send a whole lot of emails about Judge covering up these threats and file an FBI report. I expect all of you to do the same before Goven actually does something.
Niggas been knew about it. It ain't no secret. I stand on it. Ain't no nigga gonna do nothing about it. And it is what it is.
With no labor, young fly nigga, high nigga, fucked your bitch and told her bye nigga, no lie nigga. Hey, hold on, bro.
Yo, young Dolph is a wild boy. He a wild boy. I like him.
Hey, man. Shout out to the street, shout out to all the hustlers, shout out to all the money go getters, man. Go get the money, man.
Damn, boy, I tell you, man. Young Dolph.
He fucked your bitch and said bye.
Nigga.
No lie, nigga.
Hey, man, if I was your pussy ass boy, I'd be mad at me too, man. Why you mad at me?
It's some people I heard they playing chess. You know, I saw the board. We all watching the board. The best chess players in the town watching the board. We watching this game as it progresses, like you watching two people play on the board. You dig what I'm saying? And you know, niggas playing to win. You know, you know, and
Yeah. I know they ain't think it was over with.
Run me up, man. Tag a friend, yeah, and another friend. Fuck you saying? Everybody get here.
I mean, just keeping it G, the video was funny at best.
Okay, so we'll go again.
Too deep in the South. That's what it is. I'm gonna go. Should I let the cat out the bag right quick? Though, niggas, man, I got my nigga Quet in the building, man. Cause, you know what I'm saying? Memphis 10 in the building. Check out, let the cat out the bag right quick on these niggas, man.
Then I went and got me a vid. And you can catch me in Memphis with Quet.